For a long time, Kamzat has been waiting to get his shot. And while he was getting his shot, he's been spending time in, Russian mountains shooting his AKs. Look at this. This is a modified, not a modified, but this is the official AK-47 of the Russian military right now being used in the conflict of the Ukraine and the Russian conflict. And that's what Kamzat does, is he goes and practices his shots while waiting for his shot to fight Dricus, and it's just not happening. So what are they going to do? Are they going to do an interim belt? That seems to be the best course. What's going to happen for UFC 317? Right now, let's take a look at the card for. All right, so we're live right now for Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. You are now checking out. Right here, you are now checking out the vertical live stream version of this one. So I don't know. I may put this on a members stream only, or I may just keep this up, depending on the performance of this particular video. Now, so far, there is a live video that is going on right now, but I believe the live stream limit when it comes to the amount that you are able to capture is, I believe, 10 hours and 55 minutes. So right now, I am literally at the 10-hour and 25-minute mark of that live stream that is going on right now, that is playing on my YouTube, as well as this one that I am doing with you guys right now. And what is happening is that I am going to kick off this live stream specifically for the Ian Garry and yes, the Ian Garry and the Prates reaction. So I'm going to give this particular video and this particular live stream the utmost respect for the Ian Garry and the Carlos Prates main event. The coverage right now is still going on with the live stream on the other live stream that is going on right now. So right now, my channel has two live streams going on simultaneously at once. Now, how do you do that? Obviously, it's because I have a vertical stream that is going on right now, and I also have a regular stream that is powered by StreamYard right now. So you can watch both. So don't forget to like and subscribe, because I am here to cover both of these event. Well, I mean, I said hi. Yes, sir. That guy says hi. How you doing? Hi. Do you know how to skateboard? No, I do not. I wish I did, but I do have a car key chain that has a skateboard on it. What do you think about that, huh? So a little bit of that right there. So Michelle Pajera is walking out right now. Carlos says hello. Carlos says yo. Seal has a deal, says cool. All right. So remember, I have two live streams that are going on right now simultaneously. And what's going to happen is, once that one hits 10 hours and 55 minutes, I'm going to cut that off, and I'm going to get people to come into this live stream instead. So MMA shout outs to Kyrie of El-Kheer MMA, Sacramento, California represent.
That's right, Kyrie. I appreciate you, my nigga. You came in here, you was talking that
All
shit.
right. Hi, what is happening? How are you guys? All right. Well, we are covering UFC Fight Night, Garry versus Prates right now. I do not know, says that guy. Okay.
You would think that niggas all squared up and all that type of shit. Niggas come to beat yo fucking ass. Like, man. Fuck you up. You would never see it.
Wagner Russian says, if Connor fought Paddy, who would win? Okay, so that's a very good question, Wagner Russia. I think that would be a 50-50 fight, to be quite honest. The reason why that would be a 50-50 fight is because Paddy is still coming. All right, so Abus is now fighting Pereira and Abus right now. $10 hours. What is this mark right here? 10 hours and 28 minutes. All right, here we go. Alex Pereira, or Michelle Pereira, rather. Here we go. Round number one. All right, round one between Alex Pereira and Magomedov going off right now. Here we go. Let's lower this one down right here so we don't get any copyright strikes on this particular matter. So, okay, here we go. Michelle Pereira looking to get elusive as he usually does, as you usually know him to be, right? It's very elusive the way that he moves and whatnot. So, all right, there we go, man. So a little bit of a forward motion on the part of a boost right now. It's going to be a lot of range fighting between these two right now. Oh, wow. Michelle Pereira. I keep mistaking him for Alex, but it's almost the same name. And so, wow, good shots right there. Jennifer Bustamante says, okay, that's what's up. Shout outs to you. Good takedown right there by Abus Magomedov. All right, now he's got his back right now. He's got his back position. He's looking to get a choke right here. All right, got a dominant position right there. But now back on the squared up, just back in the fighting stance in terms of stand-up fighting, that is. But Alex Pereira not as elusive as he usually is, and I think that is indicative of Abus Magomedov sort of really offshooting his game from this point right here, really just preventing him from advancing to a certain level. So Yeah, really not a lot of commitment from any of these guys right now. But I will say Abus Magomedov is doing a very good job of backing him up and really not giving him the proper distance that he needs in order to somehow create space to create more damage. Cheyenne Lozano says hi. How you doing? Oh, there's a high kick right there by Magomed. Yeah, I think the first round is all Magomedov right there. He did a very good job of not allowing Michel Pereira to get his game going. And you know exactly what his game is, right? Good. All right. Awesome. Let me know what part of the world you guys are from on the comment section below. I have 2 live streams going on right now. I'm going to end the other live stream in just about right after this fight with Michel Pereira, and then continue on this one. Hello from Greenland. Let's make Greenland great again. All right. Shout outs to Greenland. We got some people in Greenland tapping in right now. So that's always cool. So remember, right after the Michel Pereira fight, I'm going to be signing off on the non-vertical live stream that I'm doing on the other one. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to stay right here where you guys are seeing me on camera right now. So the non-camera portion that I have up right now, I'm going to shut off right after the Michel Pereira fight. And if you're seeing me on camera right now, you're going to see me all the way to the end of the main event with Machado, Garry, and the co-main event with obviously Anthony Smith and Mingyang. So here we go. Round number 2, Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. All right, so there we go. A little high kick right there by Magomed, and there's Pereira right there. Getting backed up, by the way. This is what's interesting about all this, is that Alex Pereira is getting backed up as Abus Magomedov is moving forward on him. Oh, there's another one right there. All right, so Michel Pereira is fighting very hesitantly in comparison to before. Obviously, the way that we know Michel Pereira to be is a lot more elusive, a lot more loose. But I think it's all to the credit of Abus Magomedov from preventing him from doing so. See, he's not allowing him to get in that distance, to get in that range, to get comfortable, just to be able to do all these acrobatic moves. So this is what Michel Pereira has to do. There it is again, calling him Alex, just like what I call Ben Whitaker, Robert Whitaker. But on any regard, Michel Pereira, not to be mistaken by Alex Pereira, is getting picked apart by Magomed right now, with basically just moving him forward and not allowing him any space to work. Because if you do, guess what? You really give Michel Pereira too much space to do what he needs to do here, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to give him any space whatsoever. What you want to do is you want to continue to keep him offset, and yeah, that's what you want to do with this guy. All right, for those of you that are tapped in right now, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, give a like, give a subscribe, and let me see, give a like to the other live stream video that I'm doing right now, because I have 2 live stream videos that are playing right now as we speak. on the same channel. Watch both so that you can help my numbers to jump up and get noticed. So here we are. We are going into the main event between Ian Garry and Prates right now. So stay tuned. All right, there's a low kick right there by Michel Pereira. Nothing much there. Okay, there's an overhand right that he's doing. Read George Orwell's 1984. Yes, I'm actually read that Remind Experience. Now, please give me a reminded experience why you decided to bring that up right now, just so I can give a perspective into why you decided to bring up that book in this current moment of time right now. I'm really curious to know. Let me know Remind Experience. But on any regard, we got 1 minute left into the second round right now with Abus Magomedov versus Alex Michel Pereira. And shout outs to Remind Experience for letting us know about that book right there on the comment section below. So far, the striking really has been on the side of Magomedov. There it is, man. Yeah, really preventing Pereira from being the elusive fighter that he is. Really preventing him from doing that. And Magomed is doing such a good job of doing so, man. All right, and that is the end of the second round, going into the third round right now. Is this only UFC content here? Well, I'm doing also boxing content. I'm also doing politics. I'm also doing geopolitics. I mean, you can add conspiracy theories into that as well. But yeah, I do a little bit of everything. Remind Experience. I try to give the audience the best experience possible beyond MMA. And here's something that I noticed about MMA audience, right? They are very good and versatile at other subjects outside of the sport that they are embedded in. That goes for the fans, that goes for the fighters, that goes for the promoters, that goes for the commentators, for the managers, everybody that's involved in MMA, the nutritionists. They all have a very, how do I say this, diverse education in the way that they approach life beyond MMA. So speaking of which, here's the third round right now with Magomed versus Pereira, and Magomed is still doing a very good job of picking apart Pereira and really preventing him from being the acrobat that we know him to usually be. And here we are in the third round, and he's looking to absolutely finish off Alex Pereira here, or by the very least, win unanimous decision and win it in a very convincing fashion, which I think that he did. CA Booby Trap Entertainment says, "What's up, my G? What's going on, my man?" CA Booby Trap Entertainment in the house. Shout out to you, my dog. You know, just following and reacting to Ian Garry Machado versus Prates, and obviously I did the Chris Eubank, Connor Benn stream, which is still going on right now. I'm going to cut off that stream. I got two streams going on right now at the same time in my channel, right? So as soon as this fight between Pereira and Magomed, I'm going to cut that stream off and I'm going to concentrate on this one. Why don't you have a split screen? That way we can see the fights with you, brother. Remind Experience, I am not allowed to do that, but what I am allowed to do is give you Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you the other stream. There's two streams going on right now. Give the other stream that I'm doing a watch. Why don't you? Why don't you do that? Help me out and yeah, give it a watch. Inshallah. Inshallah, you go give it a watch. Okay? Two live streams I got going on right now. Whoa. Wait, you are Arab? Yes, brother. Yes, I am. Who should Patty fight next? Honestly, Conor McGregor. What kind? North African, Fahad Al-Mani. Shoutouts to Fahad Al-Mani. Where are you from, Fahad Al-Mani? I'm assuming you are probably Al-Mani. That sounds like you're German, maybe. Al-Mani usually means German, but obviously not always the case. But yeah, yeah. Let me know what part you're from, my brother. Oh, so he has Michelle Pereira hurt right here. The way that Magomed has been going forward. Oh, Saudi. All right. Well, shout out to Saudi Arabia right there, my man. All right. Give me a like and a follow right on the comment section below. Continue to engage, my guys. And also, please give me a like and a subscribe as well, if you don't mind. And it's free, doesn't cost you a thing. And if you're from Saudi Arabia, you're always welcome to send me a super chat right there. That is always welcome. You look like Sadiq is a German rapper from Afghanistan. Oh yeah, okay, that's what's up, man. A German rapper. Okay, I've yeah, I know a few European rappers in terms of like just the music that I listened to when I visited Europe when I was a teenager. So yeah, here we go. Magomed shooting in against Michelle Pereira, the guy who I constantly. Do you have Fabio Mon says, do you have a favorite cologne? Yes, Aqua di Gio and Polo and Armani. Those are my top three goes. I like Hugo Boss as well. And yeah, what is your favorite cologne? Flavio Mounts, if you don't mind me asking. Good question, by the way. Good question. All right, so 20 seconds left, and we're going to find out who the winner is for this fight. And then the 10-hour stream that I have going on right now, I'm going to cut that stream off as soon as this fight ends. And then we're going to find out the official winner for this one. And I believe the official winner for this one is going to be Magomed. And yes, that is the end. You look like from Hawaii. I didn't notice you were Arab till you said, inshallah. Well, I am actually half that as well. So, I am half. So yeah, I think what you're noticing is not fooling your eyes by the very least, Fahad Al-Mani. And that is Fahad Al-Mani asking me that question in my vertical stream right now. And speaking of which, this right here is the stream that I did 10 hours ago with the Chris Eubank fight. I'm going to sign this one off as soon as we get the official decision for um, for this fight. And I think that Abus Magomedov did enough to win this fight. Let us find out right now. Let's see here. 10 hours. What is the time that we have right now? 10 hours and 50 minutes. Abus. Okay, so the winner is Abus Magomedov for that one. Okay, so we're going to cut the stream off in exactly 2 minutes from now. Hello, I am back. Shout out to Carlos22 right there. Shout out to you, my man. What part of the world are you from, Carlos? Your art to talk is like a hybrid from Andrew Tate and Soldier James Ryan. Wow. Okay, that's awesome, man. Uh, thanks. Now I feel I'm smart. Haha. That's what's up, my man. Okay, shout outs to you. You are, bro. Yeah, you caught that right on the money. That I was exactly that. USAIG, I guess. Okay, so you're from the US. Okay, that's what's up, Carlos. Okay, because I got a big international audience here, and it's just only right that I ask. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's find out who the winner is for. All right, so it is Abus Magomedov that has won right now. So we're going to cut off this stream in exactly 10 hours and 50 minutes into this live stream. Guys, I want everybody that's on the vertical stream that's seeing me right now in the vertical camera angle, please stay. Everybody that is on the non-face portion of the live stream that I started off 10 hours ago, I will see you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this event with Eubank and Benn. And obviously, we're continuing on with the main cards for Ian Garry and Carlos Prates. So here we go. MMA needs if you want to find predictions, news, and everything that deals with MMA. Shout outs to Kyrie of El-Kheer MMA, Sacramento, California, represent.
That's right, Kyrie. I appreciate you, my nigga. You came in here and you was talking that shit. That's right, bro. Much love, fool. I appreciate you for all you jumping in, bro. Be safe out there. Man, my nigga Kyrie. My man Kyrie came to he started talking that shit. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That nigga whoop your fucking ass. You would think that nigga's all squared up and all that type of shit. Nigga come through and beat your fucking ass. Like, man.
It's nighttime right now. Yes, it is. Obviously, yes. Shout out to Carlos for that one. It is nighttime right now in the United States. So, all right. There we go. Now I just had officially shut off my 10-hour live stream. I got about 8,000 views on that one. So now we're going to rack up some more views for this one. Time to work. All the support, bro. I will be supporting your channel. Thank you so much, Fahad. That means so much to me. And you know what? Please, if you can do me a favor, all the other Saudis that you know in your country or in your region or anybody that you meet around the world that is a mixed martial arts enthusiast, please have them tap into my channel so you can help me become the biggest Muslim MMA channel there is. You play Fortnite? No, I do not, but I do play GTA and a whole wide range of role-playing games. Carlos, I also play UFC. I play a little bit of FIFA, but I don't really play the updated version of FIFA because I don't really care for it that much. I love martial arts. Well, guess what? You're in the right place, Carlos. And on the Xbox, yes, I play GTA and UFC 4. I don't have the UFC 5 yet, but just the 4 on Xbox. So, yes, that I'm a bit of a gamer myself. So, yeah, that's me too. I have GTA 5. Yeah, man, it's the most awesome game ever, right? At least up until GTA 6 shows up. Now, that's the thing, right? What is up with GTA 6, right? We don't really know when it's going to be released or this and that. So we're just sort of like in this, weird limbo, aren't we? Like very weird limbo with this game. So we just, I don't know, you know? So here it is, Charles Oliveira right now, being interviewed in a promo right here. What is this about? All right, so next matchup that we got going on right now, obviously it's going to be Giga versus Onama, and then Smith, and then Ian Garry, and Prates coming up right after that. So that's what we got going on with the fight card right now. Giga Chagate has a Hall of Fame already? Wow. Already a Hall of Fame, huh? Toxic gameplays, bro. Benn versus Eubank, bro. Bro, that was great, wasn't it? I don't know if you were tapped in for the live stream that I had going on. You know what it is? I always get different audiences when I do a vertical stream or when I do like a StreamYard stream, right? Obviously, when I do the live stream on my phone, I seem to get a different audience. So I don't know. I think it's just, yeah, it's just the luck of the draw because I see toxic gameplays here, but I don't see him be notified to go to, let's say, in my StreamYard stream. But either way, glad you're here nonetheless, and we're gonna get some of these what do you call it? These spammers up out of here. But either way, man, here we are. We got the rest of these fight cards to look forward to tonight. I had about 8,000 views for my Eubank versus Benn boxing card. So not bad for a boxing card. And obviously, I also did portions of the Ian Garry protest, and here I am now. I'm concentrating heavy on the Ian Garry versus protest card that we are watching right now. So Atul Kumar says, Mulu Mulu. Toxic Gameplay says, bro, once Eubank started to warm up, he looked great. Yeah, he did, bro. But you know what? Shout outs to Benn. He also put up a pretty good fight as well, man. We can't deny Benn of his performance as well. I mean, he did a very good job, man. Shout outs to Benn. They really put on a performance for everybody out there. It was great. It was absolutely great. So here comes Giga Chagate right now taking on Onama. This is going to be an interesting fight for sure. And by the way, also on the live stream that I did, check out the Pujanowski versus Eddie Hall fight. I have the actual fight footage in that live stream for the Chris Eubank fight. So I covered all the top 3 fights today around the world. KSW, UFC, and obviously Benn versus Chris Eubank. Great night of fights all around. Okay, so 1 win away from cracking the rankings for Onama. Take in back Gula and cry. I don't know. Eubank stopped boxing on the outside. He looked bad. But damn, them boys fought like their life was on the line. They did, man. There was a lot of pressure between these two guys, and losing was not an option for either guy whatsoever. It was absolutely not an option for either guy to lose this one, and they both showed exactly that. Bro, fight of the year so far, easy. I'm saying, yeah, man, I agree with you. That absolutely should go down as a fight of the year. And if you say otherwise, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're just a hater of either Benn or Connor or both. You know what I mean? Like, you can't look at that and say that that was not fight of the night worthy, because it definitely was, and that's really what it is. Show us your fight. I've already showed a few of that in the previous live streams, Atul Kumar. So you're going to have to check that one out. What's a live stream that I did for you to check out? Well, check out the early live stream that I did for the Chris Eubank versus Benn fight. I showed some of that in the live stream there. Even when they had no gas in the tank, they threw punches. That's what I'm saying. Fight between you and your opponent. Yeah, shout outs to Kumar on that one. Yeah, I get different audiences too, whether it's I'm doing it on a StreamYard or whether I'm doing it on this vertical stream. It's like as if there's, bro, young Kyrie looks scary as F. Yeah, man. Well, You're right. You're right, man. You're right. I definitely looked scary back in the days. I mean, even till now, I still have skills. First off, then what are you talking about? Okay, so Kumar, we're going to put you on a 5 minute timeout. Take 14 years off and give him a bald head. Take 14 years off and give him a bald head, and Kyrie looks scary as. So you're saying I would look a lot scarier if I had a bald head? Is that what you're implying? I mean, you're not wrong, because I think that when the younger that you look, or if you have like a young look about you, I mean, honestly, it's like as if the less menacing that you look to some people. It's kind of weird and strange, but really that's how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. When you had the low cut haircut, you were probably. Oh, okay. So you're saying that having a bald head, or the low cut makes me look scarier. Sort of like Alex Pereira in a way, right? I mean, Alex Pereira has that like short hair thing going on, and yeah, he absolutely looks scary as f. On that. So yeah, man. 38. All right. So Giga versus Onama coming up. And then we got the main card. Ever sparred any UFC champs? Oh yeah, man, that's what I'm talking. Dillashaw, Mendez. I mean, if you want to count him as a champ, he was a title challenger. Who else? Who else was a champ? That's about the only names that I could really think of. Toxic gameplays, but yeah, all the Team Alpha Male guys, I suppose. So all right, so Giga and Onama for the 145 division. This is going to be a fun matchup right here. So here we go. This fight is about to commence right here at 38 minutes into this live stream. So we're about 40 seconds out before we start concentrating on David Onama taking on Giga Chikadze. 38 minutes. That's going to be in 30 seconds from now where we react to this live stream. Yes, Dillashaw. I remember when Dillashaw fought Lomachenko in sparring. He looked good. Yeah, man. You know what? A lot of Team Alpha Male guys, they have a great prowess in being able to step into professional boxing. When you agree, I mean, the footwork is there for the taking in terms of being able to, fight like that. So y'all move so good, man. Yeah, that's the thing with Team Alpha Male, right? I noticed when Lance Palmer first started training at Team Alpha Male, Uriah would emphasize to him to constantly move around in order to sort of get used to that fighting style. So yeah, man, here we go. Giga Chigatse is now about to get announced, and the fight between these two are about to commence. But like Iverson said, we talking about practice. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. I really would have loved to see TJ box some people in his weight class. Bata wata in British accent. A bottle of water in an English accent. Lord Noogie. Shout out to Lord Noogie on that one. So here we go. Round one is about to commence between these two right now. All right, round one. Here we go. Oh, that's a good straight right hand right there by Giga Chikadze, and right up top as well. Going really aggressive with these strikes so far. And shortly right after, we got the co-main event of the evening. All right, there's a low kick right there by Onama. There's a high kick right there by Giga Chikadze. All right, there's another oblique kick right there by Onama going right up top. Oh, there's a body kick right there by Onama. All right, so very good on the part of Giga Chikadze right now. He's doing a very good job. Okay, he stunned him with that one. Oh, wow. Okay, he's going for a 1-2 shot right there. All right, so Onama being told to switch up some angles right there by his corner. Oh, wow, he got him rocked right there. He's got Onama rocked. Okay, but he's got a body lock position right here that was very smart on his part to do that. So now he got him down right after getting rocked like that. So he is now in the half guard position, now full guard position, with him right on top of Giga Chikadze right now. All right, just a little bit of a commercial break on that one. You just got to make sure that the volume isn't too high on the fight footage there, because obviously you could get flagged for that one. Shout outs to Kurt Foster, the new subscriber to the channel, and to many new subscribers that I have to the channel. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't inform me of all who my new subscribers are, but nonetheless, here we are. Second round right now coming up between Giga and Onama, with just about literally 3 fights left into this main card right now. And if you want to check out my commentary on the previous fights, check out the Chris Eubank versus Connor Benn live stream that I did, the 10-hour one right before this live stream on the live section of the latest that I have. And yeah, you'll get all the full commentary for all the fights, and also for the Chris Eubank versus Connor Benn fight, the whole entire card, as well as the coverage for the entire event. So here we are. There's a spinning back fist right there by Giga, because again, this is a very high level striker, so you can't really expect anything less out of this kid for that. All right, here we go. Oh, there's a double leg shot right there by Onama, and he gets it. It was like almost so effortless on his part just to be able to pull that off. It seemed so effortless. All right, so now he's in the side control position. No, no, I'm sorry, not side control. Yeah, he is. He's in, no, not side control, half guard position right now. Pounding away on top of Giga Chikadze, but Giga Chikadze has been getting the better of these exchanges, at least on the feet. Now, Onama's takedowns haven't really caused a lot of damage, so you got to wonder how the judges are going to perceive that. Wow, okay, there it is, man. Onama still maintaining that top level position on him right now. And we got the co-main event just right after this. All right, so now we are at the end of the second round right now, going into the third round with basically, uh, I'm gonna go to bed. See ya. Shout out to Carlos, man. Uh, yeah, I don't know what part of the United States you're at going to bed this early, but you probably have to wake up very early in the morning. So shout outs to you and everyone that is tapped into the channel. And also don't forget to like and subscribe and tell everyone around you to also like and subscribe. Good night, my man Carlos said. That's what's up, my man. All right. All right, here we go. The third and final round of this fight right here. Yeah, right now you could argue that the scoreboard for this one is 1-1 between these two. When you say that's a pretty accurate assessment of the scorecards, when you say 1-1. All right, so Onama's not doing bad right now either, right? I mean, he got rocked a few times here, but still. Oh, there's a body shot right there by Giga Chikadze. Oh, there's some shots right there by Giga Chikadze. Oh, there's an axe kick right there that he just threw at him. Oh, wow. Took him down right there. All right. So he's got him right on top right now. Will this affect the judges' decision in how they're going to see this fight? I mean, considering the fact that, hey, you know what? He's landed 3 takedowns so far. And the ground control time that he's probably accumulated would probably factor into the possible judge's decision. But we shall see. We shall see what it is that they see out of this. So in just about maybe less than 2 minutes from now, we're going to find out who the winner is. Okay, we're going to find out the winner in less than 60 seconds from now, maybe even just a minute right after they gather all the scorecards. All right, Onama right on top as he ends this fight. So who wins that? That's going to be a very difficult decision for the judges to score right now. We are about to find out soon enough. All right, just awaiting the winner right now. All right, let's find out who the winner is right now. All three judges score at what? 29-28 by unanimous decision. Onama. Onama wins by decision. That's it. There it is, man. David wins by decision. He deserved that win, man. Look, the ground control time, the constant takedowns that he was able to get on him, he absolutely deserved it. He said that that was his whole entire game plan the whole entire time. All right, man. So on to the next fight coming up right now. It is going to be Anthony Smith versus Ming Yang.
Kansas City, let's hear it for your boy. Big moment for David Onama as it's out to Home City. KCMO. It'll take back a final yet. Shout Denver, not before celebrating with six along. Corner. So, the original plan in our main event tonight was Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree Jr. Yeah, they're both here, Khalil. We kept that matchup together. Baku, Azerbaijan, coming up 321. Special start time, 5 on ABC.
All right, coming up next. All right, so here we go. Ming Yang taking on Smith, his retirement fight. Wow, man, all of his fights have ended the first round, and this is who Smith is fighting in his retirement fight. I mean, put that in perspective right there, right?
Meanwhile, 2 weeks from tonight, UFC 315, the Octagon returns to Montreal. Bilal Muhammad, he couldn't deny the title shot after what he put together, and he went out on the road in England, and he took the belt off of Leon Edwards. You know, the 11-fight unbeaten streak, he's rounded out the game quite nicely, and he looks to take on all challengers. There's a new level of confidence for Bilal Muhammad, which reached the top, plans to stay there a while. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this man has put in so much work, so much dedication to get to that belt, and then just get that revenge over somebody like
All right, so they're showing the UFC 315 preview right now. I'm excited for that one as well. Obviously, a very exciting contender for Bilal Muhammad, somebody that's going to go out there and try to push the pace, but I think that Bilal Muhammad is going to be pushing the majority of the pace here. Yeah, Jack Della Maddalena is going to be an interesting opponent for JDM. JDM is going to be a good opponent for Bilal Muhammad. Sorry.
Here's UFC 315 Championship doubleheader, the welterweight strap on the line. As is the women's flyweight belt with Valentina
All
Shevchenko.
right, so we got Benoit Saint Denis versus Joe Alvarez, Grasso versus Natalia Silva, Jose Aldo versus Ivan Zahabi. That's a good Canadian matchup right there. Valentina Shevchenko taking on Manon Ferrut, and then Bilal Muhammad taking on Jack Della Maddalena, all in Canada. Montreal. That's going to be an interesting fight, man. May 10th coming up. Saliteri Daji Jaladunga. I don't know what none of that means, but sorry. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what any of that means. Yeah, man. So here we go. We got Omaha, Nebraska's own Anthony Smith taking on Mingyang. Anthony Smith is saying in the promo he never thought that he would have the career that he had, and it is quite an illustrious career, to be fair. Wow, that's a good kick right there. And there it is, man. That good choke right there. He made. Oh, there's the Jimmy Crute fight, man. Yeah, Anthony Smith. People forget he has some good highlights in his career. Yeah, he's got 50 already, like 60 some odd fights in his career already. One of the veterans of the game right here. Oh, wow. Mingyang is going to be a serious problem for Anthony Smith. I promise you. He's going to be a serious problem for him. This guy goes for the finish, and Anthony Smith is susceptible to getting finished, to be quite honest with you. Right? There's a high susceptibility that he could get finished in this fight. No doubt about it. He said that he's in here for a fight, not some normal mixed martial arts fight, he says. So all right, so we're on to a commercial right now.
Clipper versus Nuggets is the best series right now. It is good, yeah. I can't believe the Nuggets really lost that last one. Just shows how shit the rest of the fucking team is. Is this promo you just said, as long as I'm remembered as the guy that never quits, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that is weird that that's Anthony Smith's whole entire flex, right? Is he's the guy that never quits, but it could be detrimental to his long-term health. You know what I mean? That's a possibility that it could be, yeah, detrimental to his long-term health, unfortunately. So, but we shall see. Excuse me. We shall see. We are at the co-main event of the evening right now. So, yeah.
$20 on round 2. Smith wins by crawling into a ball transition into an Imanari roll, then goes for a dildo for $5.
All right. So now we're just awaiting the main event right now. The co-main event, rather.
Welcome back, John Mingyang, at the prep point, ready for the biggest moment of his fighting life to this point. He rides an 11-fight win streak into his time in Kansas City. Never seen a second round win or lose. 18 first-round stops.
So there's Mingyang right now.
The fans will be ready. It's a bittersweet moment. Perhaps one more thrill from Lion.
All right, here comes Lionheart walking out into the cage right now. What song is this that Anthony Smith is walking out to? Oh, all right. My man's walking out to Return of the Mac. That's what we got going on. He's walking out to Return of the Mac. And I'm back to run the show. Tyson Fury also walked out to this song as well. There's the world famous coach of his, Montoya, walking him out. But I tell you what, even after this fight, right? I think Anthony Smith has a career in being an analysis. And not only that, he's got a great brain for mixed martial arts for whatever is going to be left of it. And how appropriate that this is his last fight, right? In a UFC fight night in a major city in the Midwest. I mean, and the majority of his fights were in a regional MMA setting. So I think this is the most appropriate retirement send-off for Anthony Smith. There he is hugging his relatives right there as he is walking into the cage. Now, look, I got to tell you guys, it never really ends well for the majority of people that are in retirement fights. You know how this ends, right? It's not going to end very well for him. No, that's exactly what he's doing right now. He is embracing and feeling the journey that is in front of him right now, right? Just really soaking in every single moment that he can with this fight. Because, they say that when it comes to combat sports, it's a very temporary thing, right? You have one shot at doing it, and you have to enjoy every moment. Every time you are in the hotel rooms, every time you are with your team, every time you taste that post-weight cut, post-weigh-in meal, right? And then on top of that, the post-fight meal. And then the post-fight festivities that come along with being with your team, relieved, feeling that you've won. It's a high adrenaline, highly addictive lifestyle. And now Anthony Smith is going to give that up one last time. But I tell you what, the other thing that I find dangerous about walking into a fight like this is that I am mainly concerned with a fighter who has 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Usually, when you have a situation where a fighter is 1 foot in and 1 foot out, I think that right there is going to be a big problem. Amako Lagi says, I want to speak English like you do, which is such fluency. Suggest me some shows, web series, and movies to begin with. Well, how about this? Amako Lagi, let me know what part of the world you are from. If you want to learn your English in the best way possible, watch my channel. And the reason why I say that is because you know who I watch as an MMA journalist that helped me with my, well, I wouldn't want to say help me with my English, but yeah, help me with my English become a lot better is Luke Thomas. So I watch him. I become a lot more articulated. I become a lot better and fluent in the way that I speak. And you can watch me in hopes that I can teach you that same way. By the way, shout outs to around the world that are tapped in from Nepal and elsewhere. So let me change headsets right here. All right. So here we are. Anthony Smith versus Zhang Mingyang. Here we go. So 36 years old, Anthony Smith taking on the 26-year-old Zhang Mingyang. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. All right, 3 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Here we go. Shout outs to all the people around the world. Nepal, China. What else do we have here? The United States, obviously, England, everyone across the United States and everywhere in the world that's tapping in with me. Homie is going to be blending into the population. Kevin, are you talking about me? I'm going to be blending into the population, or you mean that that Nepalese guy that's going to learn English from me is going to blend into the population? Let me know what you mean by that, as we are about to witness the co-main event and the retirement fight of the legendary Anthony Smith. By the way, the legacy of his career before this fight starts, I got to tell you, is when he fought John Jones and didn't lay down and decided that, you know what? I'm not going to take the easy way out. Kevin says the Nepalese guy. Okay, so shout outs to Kevin as well. Let me know what part of the world you are from, brother. Let me know if you are from overseas, if you are from England or elsewhere, or you are from the good old United States where we are at right now. So there's a kick started off by the Chinese right into the body of Anthony Smith. There's a side kick right there. So far already, Zhang is looking mighty strong for Anthony Smith, and Anthony Smith feels like he doesn't know what he is doing in there. The good old USA. Shout out to you, Kevin. What part of the United States you are from in this great country of ours, my man? So there it is, man. He is fighting with just absolute reckless abandonment right now, because I think what Anthony Smith, I think he sort of knows. He said he's going to fight like the Anthony Smith of 2010. What exactly does that mean? Does that mean that he's going to go out there for broke? Maybe. Okay, so there it is. They're going toe to toe, and now Anthony Smith has him locked in a clinch position. Oh, there's a low kick right there by the Chinese Zhang. Yeah, Kevin, let me know what part of the U.S. you're from, brother. Oh, wow, man. Some really strong shots right here by Zhang. I really would like to see Anthony Smith pull this one off right here. Pakistani Muludipat Jai Shri Ram. I don't know what that means. Let me know what you mean by that. If you could write in English so that I can properly respond to you. But shout out to everyone from Pakistan, from Nepal, and I've got some wide range of people from around the world coming in here to tap in with me. That's what I'm talking about, man. Wow, Anthony Smith is already bleeding up top right now. Ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, these are some hard shots right here. Jai Bharat. He says, I don't know what that means, my brother. Let me know. And Anthony Smith is getting his butt whooped right now. Here we go. He's like, you want to go to retirement? I'm going to send you to retirement right now. All these elbows. Now look at Anthony Smith shooting in for a takedown, trying to prevent these shots from going at him. He's saying shoo to someone. He's like giving the shh sign in the corner. I don't know if he's talking to his corner or Anthony Smith's corner. He's down. Oh, the corner was telling him that he's down. Bro's actually still has boogers in his. What are you talking about? Someone 09. You got 5 minutes to think about what you said. Someone 091. I am from India, Pakistani. Says, oh wow, he's finishing Anthony right now. He's looking to finish Anthony right now. Wow. Yeah, he's about to finish Anthony Smith. This is going to do it right here. This is going to do it. This is going to do it. Mingyang just finished Anthony Smith right there. TKOs.
Ceremonial send-off from John Mingyang. Welcome to the rankings. And still never.
There it is, man. Mingyang TKO Smith into retirement round one. Where are you from? I am from California, USA. My brother from India. Shout outs to you. Yup, just like what I mentioned to you earlier, right? The AK Short says, I don't know what you are trying to say with that, but I'm going to give you a 1 minute timeout for that one. Oh, what is this? Somebody in the crowd is going at Anthony Smith right now. What is going on here? What is going on here? A little controversy going on right here.
Obviously, he wanted to win, but going out covered in blood, not a bad second best. And now a lot of respect to John Mingyang. Anthony Smith didn't doubt that he was a big, imposing prospect that could do some damage. But he simply said, we'll find out.
What was that about, man? Was he trying to fight the crowd or somebody that was trying to fight him? That was an interesting little turn of events right there. What was happening there? But once again, this proves to you the ever unforgiving status of combat sports in a nutshell, right? Very unforgiving. I mean, he came in here thinking that he was going to have an illustrious retirement send off, and that was not the case. That was not the case at all, unfortunately, for Anthony Smith. This is how the game goes. This is how the ending goes for a lot of people. And there's no way around it. So he gets finished off with a ground and pound position right here. And we're on to the main event of the evening between Garry and Prates right now. So he was just too much for Anthony Smith. So that's what it is.
His win streak is now at a cool dozen as he heads inside the top 15 after a win like this. We'll hear from him. We'll hear from Anthony Smith. One final time when we come back.
So in about probably 4 minutes from now, we're going to start covering the main event of the evening between Garry and Prates right here. So we're going to find out how this fight is going to go. And we're going to probably have Anthony Smith speak on behalf of his retirement, and then we're going to go from there. So great night of fights so far, I must say. Hi, why you gave me a timeout? Because you said so. I don't know what you were saying. I thought, look, you got to understand, we speak two different languages. So therefore, you got to understand, I thought that you said something offensive, but please try to keep it in English so that I know what you're saying. And yeah, so sorry about that. If you didn't mean anything offensive, please forgive me. But shout out to AK Music for that one. All right, so a lot of highlights in tonight's fights so far. All right, here we go. We're going to make it official right here. All right, there it is. Tong Mountain Tiger Mingyang gets the win.
First of all, congratulations. Obviously, this was the biggest fight of his career so far. To come in here to enemy territory, how is he feeling? First round stop in his career. 首先，祝贺你取得职业生涯目前为止最大的一场胜利。今天在敌人的领土上收获了另一场首回合终结，你现在心情怎么样？你让他们再嘘一声给我听听。哎，你先让他们嘘一声给我听。哎 ，boo me again, let me hear that.
Wow, he's telling the crowd, hey, boo me again, let me hear that. He loves it.
Hey, Kansas City, how do you feel?
He says, hey, Kansas City, how do you feel? I just retired your boy.
Anthony Smith, and you talk. I heard you talking to him, your friend over here, and saying, "Ask me who I want next." So I'm going to ask you, who would you like next?
He asked him, who would he like next?
I know you don't know who I am, but if you don't know, now you know. Dana, talk to me. Who are next? All right, well, let's hear
He said, if you don't know who I am, now you know who I am. And he says, Dana, who is next? Now on the attention towards Anthony Smith for his retirement.
like a warrior yet again in front of these people, and everyone has so much respect for you. But
Yeah, the retirement speech
you had to
of
land elbows, but was it the cut that really
Smith right now.
made you in your eyes? Was that a big problem for you here tonight? Yeah, I mean, I felt okay, but once I got clipped with that elbow, it was bleeding into my eyes. He does a great job in the clinch. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, 5 years ago, that's a beatable guy.
Yeah, man. He said 5 years ago this would have been a beatable guy for him, but not this time. It's Father Time that catches up to us all. He says that he has a high ceiling. I agree. Brother gives timeout to the Indian because his username is so disrespectful. No, Not at all. That's not what it is. You said GAY Hind, and I don't know who you were talking to or who you meant for that. Please, if you meant no harm by it, forgive me. Okay, I meant no harm by it. If you meant no harm, that's all there was to it. And if I made a mistake, then I'm sorry. But you know what? Here's what I will do. I will add you as a moderator. Um, as a reward for hanging in there, right? So there, AK Music, you are now the moderator for the remainder of this stream and for the main event that we have going on. He said, now let's go get a shower and let's goddamn party, he said. Oh, they're showing him a video highlight of his career right now. All right, let's check this out. This little career highlight that he has going on here.
Congrats, Anthony. You truly are one of my favorite fighters.
Jelly Roll. Wow. Okay, there's Jelly Roll right there.
Nobody has fought harder than you in that octagon. I'm proud of you.
Says no one has fought harder than you have in the octagon, and there's Jelly Roll right there. He just performed at the Super Bowl, I believe. Hard fought, hallelujah, he said. Wow. I mean, it makes sense, that kind of song for Anthony Smith, right? Like just very country song like. That hard-nosed Midwest mentality of Anthony Smith. Oh yeah, that was the Andrew Sanchez fight. That was an interesting fight as well. Rashad Evans is saying that he's got that dog in him. He said, "Do you know my name yet?" Oh wow. Glover Teixeira says, if you're going to go to fight him, you better be ready for war and all that. There it is, man. The highlight and the career of Anthony Smith. There'll very few guys that are like Anthony Smith, man, especially in that generation of fighters. In the new generation of fighters that you have now, you're not going to see a guy like that for quite a long time.
He had a chance. He had an opportunity to be world champion.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. His legacy of his, he had the opportunity to become world champion by just laying down, and he didn't want to take it. And he says, I'm all right. I'm going to just get up there and fight. And there's Teddy Atlas talking about that. He said he couldn't live with himself doing that. Wow. He said, Anthony, listen, congratulations. According to Teddy Atlas, Megan O'Leary also shouting him out. And then there's Bruce Buffer shouting him out. Mark Montoya, the coach. There it is.
This is an amazing achievement that not many people get to do on their own terms. This is what everybody sets up to do in the sport. And you did it.
You can either be grateful it happened, or you can be sad that it's over. And I speak for all the.
He said you can either be grateful it happened or sad that it's over, according to the words of Chael Sonnen. Very interesting there. Yeah, so that right there is the retirement of Anthony Smith. He said, do you have anything to say? The microphone is yours. Let's hear this. He says, guys, I don't even know what to say. He said, "Wow, man, watching that video, wow, I did that stuff. You definitely did." He says, "I'm just going to be grateful that it happened." He said that tonight I'm going to have some gratitude, and he's saying he's thinking Kansas City right now. Lionheart Smith. And he's saying he's thinking Kansas City right now. And he's putting his gloves down right there. Yeah, beautiful moment, man. Beautiful moment that he decided to put his gloves down right there. There's Jamal Hill right there. Yeah, man, clap it up, man, clap it up. Regardless of whether you liked him or not, regardless of whether you thought that it was BS of him to stay down during the John Jones fight or whatever opinion that you have of his career, one thing you got to remember is that these fighters out here give their life for our entertainment, and also to give content creators like us a job to be able to do this and cover guys like them who fight week in and week out, and that is Anthony Smith in a nutshell. And congratulations to him, his family, his coach, and his team for a great career. And just like with everything else, it is on to the next one. Just like we had a great retirement package for him right here, it is on to the Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates main event, just like that. And here we are. So the main event of the evening, let us continue this right now. Here we go. All right, here we go. Ian Garry versus Prates is coming up right now. In approximately 2 minutes from now, they're both going to start entering the cage. So main event time, here we go. All right, main event of the evening coming up right now. All right, main event coming up right now. We got that ESPN commercial. We will be right back. Little ASMR, little sound right there where they're outside of the office. I don't know if you guys hear that. It's like the serene sound of like morning time or whatever, just the sound of traffic and the sound of the wind in the background and all of that. All right, so here we go. Main event time. Main event time right here. Showing the sights of Kansas City right there. The food culture that they got going on. The bar and grill restaurants that they got going on. All of that. Kansas City stuff, you know? And now here we are in the main event of the evening. What's up with Ian Garry already with bruises in his eye in the promo picture or the promo video that they have of him right there? Old timer for Cena. I love the retirement 17 tour. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? But do you think he's going to lose the belt, Jason Brophy? Do you think he's going to lose the belt before he retires? I mean, that's usually the case, right? You can't retire with the belt, right? You can't go George St. Pierre it up in the world of professional wrestling. This is the reason why Bret Hart had that controversy. Drops it to Cody in November. So you're saying he's going to drop it in Survivor Series, I'm assuming, right? That's going to be his end time right there. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense, you know? Or SummerSlam. Do they have a program going on in SummerSlam yet? Is there a rematch clause between Cody and John Cena? Or is John Cena going to fight somebody else? Meanwhile, here it is, the promo video for Ian Garry and Carlos Prates, probably one of the most anticipated main events in all of the fight nights. Right now, this right here could have easily been, let's say, a co-main event for a Conor McGregor card or an Islam Makhachev card, or maybe even a John Jones fight. Easily, Ian Garry and Carlos Prates could do that, but instead, they decided that, hey, you know what? We're going to take this fight and do something for Kansas City, sort of contribute UFC's footing in Kansas City by having these two foreign guys. And that's the thing about the UFC, right? You can have two foreign guys headline a card in the middle of the Midwest, which is what we're experiencing right now as we speak. And then there's Ian Garry right there doing the Conor McGregor billionaire strut that he learned from Vince McMahon. Speaking of the WWE, as we're having WWE conversations with my man Jason Brophy right now, which I think is quite revealing because although I was very stoked about John Cena's win during WrestleMania, I feel that, you know what? If this is his retirement tour, and then obviously already getting the record for 17 titles, uh, he has to drop it to somebody at some point, but more than likely Cody, because Cody right now could be the new John Cena or the new Roman Reigns in that particular department. So, you know, good little wrestling talk that we got going on just right before we are about to witness Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates, set to headline right now. So here we go. There's a head kick by Ian Garry right there. He said that he's going to break Carlos Prates and that he's never going to be the same again. He said that he's going to break his mind and he's going to break everything about him. We shall see. All right, so here we go. Carlos Prates set to walk out right now. Let's see what his entrance music is going to be. He's walking out to some Rick Ross music right now. He's walking out to some Rick Ross music right now. And of course, you know that Ian Garry is going to walk out to the Layla song. Hey, bro, where are you from? I am from California, my man. Ian barely got past an injured Shufcott. That's what I'm saying, man. Well, I don't know if Shufcott was injured in that one. Is that true? Let me know. To answer Sai Mishi's question, I am from Northern California, my man, and we are tapping in live for Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. So here we go. I am from India, bro. Shout out to India, man. I seem to be having a lot of Indian followers now. So shout out to you guys. And you know what? You guys are now becoming a pretty big mixed martial arts fan base. So that is always good to have a good foundational fan base of people like that that support my channel. And yeah, man, let everybody in India know about my channel. To anybody that is tapped into mixed martial arts. Do you like India, bro? Of course, man. Of course. Of course. What are some great things you could tell me about India, Saib Mashi? Let me know. Yeah, that's crazy. Carlos Prates says he only sleeps 3 hours a night, which is insane to really put that in perspective right there, you know? All right, so Ian Garry is set to enter. Who do you have in the main event? Conor McGregor says. I got Ian Garry on that one, Conor McGregor. Which is your favorite food in India, bro? Chicken masala, Submashi. Let me know if you like that food as well. So here comes Ian Garry right now, walking out into the cage with the Layla song. Just like what I predicted. I predicted that he was going to walk out to the Layla song. So here it is. Ian Garry walking out to Layla, which, by the way, is a song that is, I think, that he dedicates to his wife. He says that I like chicken biryani. Oh, I love some chicken biryani too. That sounds really good, my man. Do you know how to make it, or does someone make that for you? Let me know in the comment section below. There's Ian Garry right now walking out with the Irish flag draped over his head as he is walking into Kansas City. Yeah, there's people that's booing him on his way out right now. Yeah, so Mashi, let me know if you know how to cook that or if you have somebody make it for you, man. The chicken biryani sounds pretty good there. There's Ian Garry right there with his kid. Are you from Pakistan, bro? No, I'm half Arabic and half Pacific Islander. So yeah, and I am from California. So yeah. All right, they are going to put on a show for the next 25 minutes right now, man. Brother, can you say T is fantastic? Yeah, I would say T is fantastic. Okay, okay, bro. Yeah, T is pretty good. I love T. Yeah, I love a good T. Why not? Main event. Both main events now enter the cage. There it is, man. Both of them now entered the cage, and we are about to commence battle between these two men. Yeah, so both of these men have now entered the cage, and we are about to commence battle. Yeah, thanks. Do you like tea? Is that why you wanted me to say that it's fantastic? Let me know on the comment section below.
was rolling deep this week, but he took the time. He answered every question thoroughly, and I enjoyed the conversation that I did have with Ian, and I'm looking forward to this fight. Not if he does what he said he's going to do. I can't wait to speak to him. But we'll see. He is impressively composed for just 27 years old.
All right, the 27-year-old Ian Garry, both men have now entered the cage, and they are set to get announced. Wow, okay, look at the reach of Carlos Prates. He's got pretty long reach at 6'1" in comparison to Ian Garry at 6'3". So here we go. Ian Garry coming back after his fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov, set to take on a very tough main event for his part right here. All right, so now we got Bruce Buffer on the mic right now. It was Michael Buffer earlier for the Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn fight. How relieved is he that it's over? Okay, bro, nice to meet you. Next to meet you on your next live, bro. Yeah, man, tap into my live stream next time, Submachi. I really appreciate that you guys are here. So yeah, let us get this cracking and moving. It's time. All right, in the welterweight division, here we go. 21 wins, 6 losses. All right, here we go. Ian Garry. All right, here we go. Round number 1.
Biggest spot in the career for Carlos Prates, packed house, and this Kansas City crowd is loving him. Asked this group for Ian Machado Garry and his headliner. He said, "I'm the biggest story no matter what part I'm on." But nobody's walking after him tonight.
All right, round 1. Here we go. Oh, wow. Ian Garry in purple. How about that? Here we go. A couple of seconds into round number 1 right now. Both a bit of a feeling out process. Okay, Savach, goodbye, AK Music says. Shout outs to my Indian listeners and people from around the world that are also tapped into my channel. India, Ireland, more importantly, with Ian Garry fighting right now. Bosnia, we got people from Russia, we got people all across the United States, and even people in Canada. And now here we are watching an Irishman and a Brazilian in a main event in Kansas City as we covered a fight out in London today. Boy, life couldn't get any good. So here we go. But so far, yeah, just a bit of a very disciplined approach by both guys right now. Hard kicks by Ian Garry right there. Yeah, over 100 fight experience for Prates. He's done a lot of Muay Thai fights over the years. Look at this. He's got the little Muay Thai stance going right now. A little bit of his background from Thailand, spending time in Thailand, getting all those fights in. Oh, there's a 1-2 punch followed by a head kick by Ian Garry right there. But Carlos Prates has a very good striking prowess in which he learned from Thailand. And now Ian Garry wants to test that takedown defense right there. He shoots in, and great stuffing on the part of Carlos Prates there. Yeah, at least on paper, you could say that Ian Garry is more of the well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter, I suppose. But you know what? It was great for Prates to be able to stuff that takedown right there the way that he did. Okay, there's a low kick right there by Ian Garry. Ian Garry keeps going back to that 1-2 shot and then head kick every time. And then there he is. He's shooting in for a takedown. So he's doing like just a little bit of everything towards. Ooh, there we go. Sorry about that. Had to fix a little bit of light there. But yeah, yeah, Ian Garry has not completed a takedown on Carlos Prates, and so far on the feet, I think that he is throwing the harder shots, but Carlos Prates is hanging in there with him, especially considering his 100 Muay Thai fight experience that he's had going on. There's a head kick right there that was blocked with the hand of Carlos Prates, but still felt the impact of that as that went in. 30 seconds left. 20 seconds left into this round right here. Oh, he knocks him down right there. Oh, wow. He's looking to finish him right here. He just shrugs it off like, all right. Okay, and that is the end of round number one. Round number two coming up right now. All right, so we got round number one. Who do you give that to? Do you give that to Ian Garry? Maybe. I would give that to Ian Garry just based on just the aggressive striking that he was putting on there. And of course, maybe the attempts of the takedown that Carlos Prates may have stuffed. It depends on how Judge would take a look at that particular fight. But here we go. We got round number two. Oh, there's Damian Maya right there in the corner of Ian Machado Garry. There's the head kicks right there by Ian Machado Garry that is hitting Carlos Prates that knocked him down, only for Ian Garry to follow him up on the ground that way. So here we go. Round number two. Round number two between Ian Machado Garry and Carlos Prates right here in this main event. 5-round fight. Main event 5-round fight between these two gentlemen right here. All right, there's Ian Garry. Oh, there's a nice leg kick or a body kick right there by Ian Garry. He goes and shoots in for a takedown right here, and he misses. He gets stuffed on that takedown.
Yeah, Prates is blocking it, but the jab of Garry is definitely landing.
Yeah, Gary's jab is landing in there, huh?
Garry just so good at understanding his optimal range. I mean, his ability to hit and not be hit. Say what you will, but I mean, he is such a high level operator when it comes to fight IQ.
Yeah, man. The high IQ, the high fighting IQ of Ian Garry is showing right now. If you guys don't notice, man, it's showing every round right now, man. He's showing exactly what it is that he can do.
But I think when you haven't had a ton of long fights, there's a tendency for you to feel like, okay, I've got all this time to work with. But I would imagine the time slips by very quickly. And before you know it, you've given away a round, and maybe you've given away 2 rounds. And then you got to go win all 3 if it's going to end up being a decision.
Exactly, especially in a fight like this where the pace isn't exactly really high. So you kind of forget that, oh, all right, yeah, we're already going to be in the increasing.
Yeah, the pace of this fight is exact. Ooh, wow! Ian Garry rocked him in that one. Who's winning above all ask? I'm going to say Ian Garry is winning this one right now as we are ending round number 2 going into round number 3. Yeah, I'd have to say Ian Garry. By the way, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like button and hit the share button. But there's Ian Garry right there once again getting stuffed by Carlos Prates. As good as Ian Garry is doing, it is also prevalent to sort of point out that Carlos Prates is stuffing a lot of his takedowns. So something worth noting right there. We got 50 seconds left into this second round right now, and next thing you know, it'll be round number 3. Oh, wow. There's Ian Garry right there rocking him with just 30 seconds left into the second round. Ian Garry is absolutely going to look for a finish here. Already 10 minutes, and both of these guys are fighting at a very similar pace. Oh, what was that? A little low spin heel kick right there by Ian Garry, sort of like Ken and Ryu move in Street Fighter. And there's Carlos Prates right there deciding to stand up in between the rounds as he's talking to his corner. It's always an interesting choice if some fighters decide to either stay up or sit down in between the corner. Always an interesting choice between them. But nonetheless, here we are going into the third round. of the evening right here. He said nothing big, though, just tap, tap, tap. All right. All right, round number 3 on the way. And we're on to the championship rounds after this one. Here we go. Once again, just in fighting in a very similar pace. This is what you would get out of a seasoned Muay Thai fighter. They know how to fight 5 rounds with this particular pace. Of course, in Muay Thai and kickboxing, they do 3 minutes instead of 5. But yeah, nonetheless, Ian Garry also a high-level striker, and this is just what you're going to get. They're going to continue to fight at this pace. But I will say, Ian Garry looks like the much more explosive out of the two, right? Like just the way that Ian Garry is approaching this fight, there is a more reason for him to try and push the pace up a little bit, right? Just a sense of urgency on his part, whereas Prates is not so much in that particular department. But also credit to the takedown defense prowess of Carlos Prates, right? Being able to just prevent a lot of the shots that Ian Garry has been throwing at him.
You don't want to wear yourself out when that's not really your A game, but putting the idea into the atmosphere.
Oh, there's a high kick right there by Ian Machado Garry, right up top. Yeah, so far you could probably say Carlos Prates is down 2 rounds. And in this third, ooh, wow. He made him miss on that one. He did a little, matrix, uh, lean back thing with the high kick by Carlos Prates. And now he's got Carlos Prates rocked right here in the third round, looking to back him up with just 2:35 left in the third round. There's Ian Garry right there going aggressive at Carlos Prates, really doing a good job imposing some aggression towards him. Now there's a takedown by Ian Garry right there. All right, he's making Prates work right there. Now that he's got a body lock on him, this is sort of what Ian Garry wanted to implement as well, some sort of grappling into the mix, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. But now Carlos Prates reverses the clinch position, has Ian Garry backed up against the fence and in the cage now. So we're heading into the championship rounds from what it seems right here. Round 4 coming up. Just about 60 seconds left into this third round right here. All right, less than a minute left now into this round. Yeah, Machado Garry significant strikes 16 round one, 29 round two, 20 in round three. For Carlos Prates, round one, four, a little bit more in round two, and not really that much in round three. And then here comes Ian Garry now implementing some takedowns. And you can tell this is where Carlos Prates is starting to get tired, where he's not able to sort of withstand the grappling uh, exchanges. Right now, yes, he can fight Muay Thai, drinking and smoking cigarettes and this and that. But what is going to happen when you take on a well rounded mixed martial artist that can literally take you anywhere in this fight? And that's exactly what we are seeing in this round right now as it commences and ends in the third round, now going into the fourth round, which is the championship rounds. And let's see how this plays out.
Let's take a look at this work from Ian Garry. Beautiful uppercut splits right through the guard of Process, chases him down. And then this is really the story right here. The way that Ian Garry has been able to mix in.
Yeah, Ian Garry had trouble in the beginning of the fight getting these takedowns in, but eventually he started wearing down on Carlos Prates, and here we are, fourth round into this mix right here. Fourth round into this mix, and here we are. Round number four of this championship rounds, and we are now heading into the fifth round just right after this. So two more rounds of this. And so far, Ian Garry is doing a very good job of picking him apart. Yeah, he's doing a very good job of picking him apart. Oh, there's a high kick right there by Prates. Yeah, this is not phasing Ian Machado Garry at all. Not whatsoever. There it is, another shot right there by Ian Garry. There it is, another shot right there by Ian Garry. There's a single leg attempt right there by Ian Garry.
Such a smart fighter, though. You know he's not going to exhaust himself. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, I move on to my other aspect that I'm dominating. I mean, this is such a
Yeah, very smart fighting positions by Ian Garry, right? He doesn't try to overcommit with these takedowns if he knows that he's not going to get it. What he's going to try and do is basically try and, yeah, sort of mix up whatever is available to him. So if it's not going to be the exhausting portion of the grappling exchanges, he's going to mix it up with the striking and then go back to the clinching and then use the clinching to get back to the striking. So he's got a good rinse and repeat motion about him, which makes you a very methodical fighter.
yeah, not even close at all. And in those moments where it's not like Machado Garry is landing a ton of damage, but he is eating away at the clock and giving
Oh, there it is. Nice head kick right there by Ian Machado Garry.
to find a home for a big shot.
Shot power later into the round, fourth round here.
And by the way, guys, at the end of this fight, stay tuned because we are going to preview UFC 317 and UFC 318 rather, with the BMF card with Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. We're also going to go over the card with Joaquin Buckley and uh, Kamaru Usman. We're going to talk about those cards that have been announced. Oh, and there's Ian Garry right there with a 1-2 shot on the head of Carlos Prates. So really no surprise here. What I was really surprised by is that Carlos Prates had made it this far. But again, it shows you the level that Carlos Prates is at, but it's not showing you really that he is at the championship level or let alone belongs in the top five the way that Ian Garry may belong in the top five. But either way, man, Ian Garry is doing very good in this fight right now. I know Argentino Guillermo, said that he was going to have Carlos Prates win this fight. I don't know why he would say that, but hey, anything can happen, right? He could look like an absolute genius right now if, let's say, he knocks out Ian Garry when Ian Garry is not on his toes. And to be fair, Ian Garry is bleeding profusely right now in the nose, but still doing a good job of shooting in those takedowns. He didn't really get that one, but again, the intelligence of Ian Garry is allowing him to prevent himself from getting too tired. So he goes and shoots in for that single leg. He doesn't get it. He resets back into the striking mode. And again, really aware of the fact that he is bleeding and doesn't want to allow that to affect him any further going into this fight. So I'm going to predict Ian Garry winner by decision. All right, 5 minutes into this, and then we're going to find out who the winner is in 5 minutes from now. So that is going to be 9, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 2 hours and 23 minutes into this live stream, we are going to get a winner, which is going to be Ian Machado Garry. He's going to win this fight. I don't see Ian really getting a finish in this one, but I see him winning by decision in this one right here. And right after this is over, by the way, we are going to go into, yes, the announcement for UFC. Oh, wow. He just rocked Ian Garry right now. Just when we think that he's going to get an easy win here. All right, so good job on Ian Garry for preventing any further damage here, sort of mitigating it with the grappling exchanges. But look at Carlos Prates; he's looking kind of strong here. But yeah, time is definitely ticking for him. He needs to do something different here, but I don't know what else he can do. Do you ever scream out directions for a fighter that's losing, even though you know they can't hear you? Oh man, all the time. Toxic game plays. But that is when I come to the realization that man, I really can't help this guy in any kind of way. And yeah, that's all there is really to it. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to talk about the announcement for UFC 318 and Joaquin Buckley and Kamaru Usman. Wow, there's a good right there by Machado Garry.
Process needs to break out here. He can't allow Machado Garry to control his time and, like we say, Brennan, eat away at the clock.
Yeah, Prates has to really go at it with urgency right now, but he's not. Maybe you can do coaching. Maybe, man. You know what? I've thought about that. I've cornered a few guys before, but not full time coaching. No, like an actual camp with somebody. Yeah, that would be great. Actually, yeah, I would love to do that. Obviously, that opportunity can always present itself with all the fighters that I know. But yeah, man, that's not a bad idea at all. But for now, I like MMA streaming, and it's fun, and it's wow, man. Ian Garry shoots in, but then mistakens the scrambling exchanges, gets put on top, gets put on the bottom with now in a half guard position with Carlos Prates right on top with just about a minute left. And in swarm desperation on the part of Carlos Prates as he is fighting Ian Garry. Wow, he got Ian Garry's back. Look at this. What is this? He's about to look like he's going to finish Ian Garry. But it could be a little too late right there. What is this? Oh, Ian Garry doing a very good job of preventing himself from getting rocked even more. Look at this. He is begging for his life with his single leg right here. But Carlos Prates is doing a very good job of oh wow. Wow, very interesting exchanges here. Wow, he's rocking Ian Garry. He could easily finish Ian Garry right here. I can't believe this. If he does not finish Ian Garry, I think that he is absolutely going to lose by a decision, right? It's going to be one of those situations where it's Johnny come lately, right? It's just too late at this point. We got about 10 seconds left right now, and Ian Garry is going to walk away with a decision on this one, and I'm going to read Toxic Gameplay's comment. So here we go. The little spinning trip that he does, that's how he ends the fight. Wow, listen. Him and Carlos Prates, he's asking him to get down on his knees on the ground, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do all that. Just like that. And in Toxic Gameplays, I don't know how coaches feel when fighters they coach from the start leave them for another coach. Yeah, that's the thing right there, isn't it? That's sort of the reality of that situation. So, okay, guys, in 20 seconds from now, I'm going to talk about UFC 318, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3, right? Now, how about this? Max Holloway's first UFC fight was against Dustin Poirier. But Dustin Poirier's last fight ever is going to be against Max Holloway. So put that in perspective, right? And I'm going to talk about that in exactly 10 seconds from now. So excuse me if I don't answer any chats as I go on with this UFC card versus boxing card. How do you feel about the fight game as a whole at this moment? We'll talk about that in a second. But for now, let us talk about Holloway and Poirier 3. So as you guys know, Holloway, his first UFC fight was against Dustin Poirier. And let's confirm that right here, right now, just to sort of make sure, right? Is it Dustin Poirier, his first UFC fight? It is. That is his first UFC fight. And that was back in 2012. Well, guess what? Fast forward to 2025. And guess what? It is Dustin Poirier's last fight against Max Holloway, and it's going to be for the BMF title. That is going to take place in 7/19/25, which is July 19, 2025. That is the official announcement for this one. Okay, and do we have any more scheduled bouts going on in this fight card yet? Not so far, right? Just Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier are the sure signee for this fight right now. But then on the other side of that, guess what we also got? We got Joaquin Buckley taking on Usman in Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena in June 14, 2025. So both of these events are months apart from each other. You know what I like about the Usman versus Buckley card? It's taking place in Atlanta, and let's just be honest about it, right? Usman and Buckley are the two perfect candidates for the ones that need to be headlining an Atlanta card, and I'm not going to tell you why. Okay, I got a chat member that comes onto my live stream, Toxic Gameplays. You guys see him right now. He is from Atlanta, Georgia, is tapped into the boxing culture down there. And we all know what type of demographics they have in Atlanta. And if you don't know the demographics they have in Atlanta, then you don't understand why Usman and Buckley are the perfect candidates to headline this particular event. Well, now going back to Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. So obviously, Max Holloway has never won against Dustin Poirier. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to give you an early prediction right now. This is the perfect time and place for Max Holloway to not only defend his BMF belt that he won from Justin Gaethje, but actually now take on a Dustin Poirier that is badly damaged to the point where he could probably take advantage of that. Because you got to remember, Max Holloway barely spars, okay, which means that he's reserved his brain all throughout this time. Dustin Poirier, on the other hand, not only does he spar, but he also gets into wars in his fights, and you would imagine that's not good for his long term health. As a result, this is the fights that we have right now, and I think that this is the best opportunity for Max Holloway to get in there and win this fight, especially now that he is 0-2 against Dustin Poirier. He loses the first time in his debut against Dustin Poirier, and then he loses the second time in an interim bout, and now they're fighting for a BMF belt in the third time around, in which Max Holloway now has a better chance than he ever did before. So what about Usman versus Buckley? What do I have to say about that? I think this is also a great opportunity for Buckley to get in there and take on a badly damaged Usman. A very similar type of circumstance that I am explaining with the Dustin Poirier and the Max Holloway fight. However, one thing remains for sure. When you look at Kamaru Usman, what was his last fight? Kamaru Usman's last fight was against Khamzat Chimaev in a majority decision loss. He took Khamzat Chimaev to a 3-round war. Was it a 3-round war? Let me confirm. Let me confirm and make sure if that was a 3-round fight. I believe that it was. Yes, it was a 3-round fight, not a 5-round fight. And he took him to a distance, which means that Kamaru Usman is still up there. He's still a former champion. And Buckley, what he really did was take on a Colby Covington that was not focused. Nonetheless, they are here for that reason. Kamaru Usman has a win over Colby Covington, and Buckley has a win over Colby Covington. Let me just say it like this, right? Two guys that have a win over Colby Covington, and they are headlining Atlanta, Georgia. What more do you want? But I got to tell you, this is what we got for this main event that we have going on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video, inshallah. Chat, everybody that is watching, stay. All right. I'm still here. That's right. Still here, my man. So, yeah, that was just me pretty much recording a video for later, right? That's me literally recording a video for later, just so you know, right? I'm literally recording a video for later to respond for the Kamaru Usman Buckley fight and also for the uh, BMF card with Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. But for now, we are going to do the post show for UFC Kansas City. Here we go. All right, UFC post show for UFC Kansas City. So yeah, here we go, man. We're at the post show right now. We're gonna stick around for the whole entire post show, and then we're going to call it a day from here. So, what was everybody's favorite fight of the night right there? I would say Anthony Smith's fight was my favorite. Now, all about this, they got Anthony Smith up right now in the booth while he was the one that lost. But again, it's his retirement, so why not? Now, let me answer Toxic Gameplay's question earlier, just right before I recorded that video for the Buckley Usman fight and the BMF card. So, UFC card versus boxing card. How do you feel about the fight game as a whole at this moment? Well, I got to tell you, man, you look at the boxing card earlier, Toxic Gameplays. Doesn't it give you UFC vibes? You had Chris Billum Smith against Glanton in the very beginning, and then after that, you had Vidal Riley, and then after that, you had a rematch between Arthur and Anthony Yard. That was a UFC quality card. And I think the influence of Turkey El Sheikh being in the game has a lot to do with that. And I think UFC and boxing cards are looking very similar in the qualities that they have. Now, if you look at the boxing cards back in the days, there wasn't a high quality of content that you see now when it came to the undercards. In fact, it was a very top heavy card when it came to big names, right? If you had a Floyd Mayweather card, a Manny Pacquiao card, or a Bernard Hopkins card, or a Joe Calzaghe card, most of those undercards you never really remembered. Well, now it's a little bit of the opposite. You are starting to remember all the top fights because all the top fights are no longer just top heavy in boxing. They are UFC quality, which is what UFC constantly delivers every time. And Toxic Gameplay says, I agree. Top heavy is a great way to put it. Yeah. Sometimes they do it. You look at some of the Conor McGregor cards that they've had before, they made it very top heavy to where you didn't really know anybody who was in a co-main event, but of course you were here for the main event, and that's just the way that they did it. But now they're putting a lot of people in really interesting cards. There was one time where there was a conspiracy theory. I forgot which card it was, but it was a Sean O'Malley card where they said that they had this conspiracy theory that they were going to put him in a very horrible card just so he doesn't sell. I think it was either him or I think it was Francis Ngannou. But yeah, they made it top heavy for that reason alone. So here's Anthony Smith. Let's hear what he has to say right now. Did Chris Eubank have anything to say earlier on the matter at hand with did he have anything to say earlier, Chris Eubank, in the post press fight conference? Let's see if he said anything here. Oh, okay. So his friend was flipping him off. That's why Anthony Smith was getting mad earlier. A buddy of his was yeah. So it was the buddy. Eubank is in the hospital. Oh, okay. That's why he didn't do a post fight. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. That's why. So it was only Connor Benn that was up there. So man, that shows you that Connor Benn will put you in a very tough fight. Look who was the one that went to the hospital, right? That fight could have gone either way. Let's hear what Eubank had to say here. Eubank's face looks like a sweet potato right now. Yeah, for real.
To Conor Benn, because let me tell you what, I was always right. What did I say to you? He's an extraordinary fighter, but the promoters are bringing him up, which is spoiling his weight at 147. What did I say? I've been saying it for 2 years. That man can go across to the United States and actually tear it up.
Especially since Eubank is 36 and Ben is 28. Yeah, I think that is the factor right there, right? You know, the age of Ben, I think, really played a factor in to that one, right? See, the way that people sort of hype this fight up, it is as if they're like the same age or something like that, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And the numbers don't lie right there with the statistics that you put up. Eubank is 36 and Ben is 28. Also, Eubank came point 0.5 over, right? And Eddie Hearn did mention that. He said that he wasn't even within the championship weights for him. So, man, shout out to Toxic Gameplays, because even though this is a post UFC fight show, we're also covering the boxing cards as well. And also, if you want to check out the KSW main event full fight card, check out the Chris Eubank and Ben live stream that I did previously, because I have the Pujanowski and the Eddie Hall fight on that one, because we stayed busy today in April 26th, 2025, covering all the fights. I think they had a BKFC fight too, but obviously I can't cover that. You can't cover them all, but yeah, that's what it is. And he didn't make weight. Toxic Gameplay says. Toxic Gameplay also says, I think he fought drained, which is terrible, because if you are weight drained, you can't rehydrate properly. Correct. And I think that also sort of affected his performance just a little bit, right? I think it's fair to say it did affect his performance a little bit. So, yeah. Let's see. What else here? What else? Okay, let's hear Chris Eubank right here.
And you saw that. You saw that. Junior is.
He says also Toxic Gameplays. Also, the fluid around your brain is drained too, which makes it easier to get concussions. Yeah, that's probably the factor of why he's in the hospital right now. Wouldn't you agree?
Too big a man. These weights that they are flouting is this, they're destroying the places. Connor put on a performance which is keep on walking.
Are you going to be against the rematch? There is a rematch clause. Are you actually going to see it again?
My friend. Thank you.
Senior, are you happy to see a rematch? There is a.
That's how Paul Pamba died last December. Okay, yeah, 14 times with a pre-existing brain injury. Damn, man. Yo, that's crazy.
Rematch clause. How do you feel about that?
Again, so you see the difference in size, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Why we've got to stop destroying these fighters who are lighter weight. Junior's coming down, it's burning him out.
Chris Eubank is saying that you're destroying these fighters at a lighter weight.
And he's going up, which is they're destroying his career. Weights have to stay in the same weights. And if that's not done, then boxing is going to become like WWE. And
yeah, he said that if you don't care about the weights in boxing, boxing will just become like WWE. One hit, Toxic Gameplay says, won his fight, did the post-fight interview, laughed, took pictures with the fans, went back to the dressing room, and just died. Damn, bro. You're talking about Paul Pamba right there. Yeah. That was literally out of nowhere, right? And that's what's crazy about it, man. He just died right there after doing all of that. Right, so here's Ian Garry. Hold on, we'll go back to Eubank Sr. right there. There's Ian Garry in the fourth round right here. In the fifth round, he got rocked right here. He was really about to go out, and he just decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to keep on fighting. I'm going to try to shoot in for a takedown. And yeah, that was that. Eubank Senior outfit. This easy has been crazy. This dude has been crazy. He said it's a bear skin. That's crazy that he said that it's bear skin. Toxic Gameplays.
Showing grit. That's showing perseverance.
Yeah, speaking of showing grit and perseverance, yeah, Ian Garry showed perseverance in that last round right there where he really had to survive. Now, all right, wait, real quick. Significant strikes for Ian Garry, 112, 55, for Carlos Prates. Distance attempts per minute, 12.4. 4 out of 19 takedowns, 0 attempts for Carlos Prates right there. Them boys fought like the loser would get killed. Yeah, man, both Ian Garry and Carlos Prates. What did I tell you before the fight, right? These are two guys that are both highly skilled and both highly favorable over the other, but the other guy was going to give them a fight. And that is what we got out of Ian Machado Garry and Carlos Prates tonight. We got a very similar outlook between them because what you got was a guy that was overly confident, overly highly skilled more than the other, but the underdog came in here and gave the other guy a real hard fight. And that was the story between Ian Garry, Carlos Prates, and Eubank and Benn, all for April 26, 2025's fight day. They put it all on the line. And just like Toxic Gameplay said on the comment section below, them boys fought like the loser would be killed or unalive. Sorry, I don't. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, but it's true. And that's what we got out of this. And it was a great night of fights nonetheless. So let's continue on from here. Let's continue on with more fights like this, more exciting fights that we didn't think would happen. Because remember, Ian Garry didn't have to take this fight, and as a result, we got an interesting fight out of it. Benn nor Eubank had to take this fight, but they did, and as a result, we got a very interesting fight out of it. Today, the tatted up guy got their asses beat, according to Toxic Gameplays said on the comment section. Well said on that. That's exactly what happened. The tatted guys got their butts whooped, and that's what it is. But the highly inexperienced guys and highly experienced guys and the guys that were favorable to win got the fight of their lives, and that is the story for April 26, 2025's fight day. Yeah, learning experience for him. He says, yeah, it's a great day for fights.
Showing love is the heart. You know, he's in for a penny, he's in for a pound. Gentlemen, I have to go in and see my son. Guys, congratulations, Senior. Thank you.
Okay, they're asking if they would like to see the rematch or that is it. But yeah, Chris Eubank said that he's going to see his son. Okay, so now let us take a look at the co-main event of the evening. Obviously, the retirement fight of Anthony Smith. Zhang Mingyang put him out in the first round right there. And then obviously afterwards, Anthony Smith told us that the corner of Zhang was taunting him, and so he decided to go after him after the fact, and that's what it was. Toxic Gameplay says, looking like boxing and UFC in 2009 vibes. Let me know what you mean by that, 2009 vibes. That's interesting that you said that. What happened in 2009 that sort of gave those vibes? I know that Eddie Hearn went to UFC 100. No, it wasn't UFC 100. It was the fight with Shane Carwin and Brock Lesnar. It was the same week and same weekend where Amir Khan, I think, fought in Vegas that weekend also. So at least that's what I remember with UFC and boxing vibes in 2009. And obviously, Manny Pacquiao was at his prime at that time. And yeah, UFC was way more fun to watch in 2009. For sure, I could absolutely see that. Well, all right. So before I get up out of here, let's run down the entire card for UFC Kansas City tonight, and then also run down the entire card for Benn and Eubank. So in the beginning of the night, what did we have here? We had in the beginning of the night, we had Jocelyn Edwards get a first round knockout against Chelsea Chandler. Okay, that was the first fight of the night, set the tone really well. And then another finish. Timothy Kawamba gets a flying knee finish over Roberto Romero. Out of nowhere, he gets that flying knee, and then here's a submission win by Jacqueline Amorion. Finishes Paulie Viana in the second round, and then Malcolm Wellmaker knocks out Cameron Simon. A lot of knockouts that have been happening here, and also watching the Randy Brown knockout highlight right here as well. We're going to get to that in a second. Damon Blackshear gets a decision win over Alatang. Decision win. No takedowns attempts in this fight, but the percentage strikes was on Damon Blackshear's side, and therefore that is the reason why he got the victory. Chris Gutierrez taking on John Castaneda. Chris Gutierrez gets the decision in this one, even though John Castaneda had a good amount of ground control time in this. He did get a takedown, 1 out of 1 takedowns he did get. 2 of the takedown attempts Chris shot in did not get, and that was that. Did you ever have a hood accent, bro? I did it. I mean, I think you know what? I've always sounded the same. So I don't know if I've always had a hood accent. I've always been around hood people, but I don't know if I've always had a hood accent. But okay, let's see here. Evan Elder taking on Gage Young. Now, here's what's crazy about Evan Elder versus Gage Young, right? The irony of this whole thing. Evan Elder was supposed to fight the suspected child molester in Ahmad Hassanzada. So what happens? Gage Young comes in as a replacement. So it is Elder versus Young because the guy who was supposed to fight in this card was convicted of being a child pedo. Put that in perspective. And now we got Elder versus Young, and this time it was Young that came out as the victor. The striking percentage was on his side. He won that fight as a result of that. And moving on, we have Matt Schmel taking on Jimmy Flick. Even though Jimmy Flick had great takedowns, 5 out of 7 takedowns in this fight, great ground control, it was Matt Schmel that won, maybe because of the scrambling exchanges that he had won over Jimmy Flick that allowed him to win this fight. But I thought Jimmy Flick won this fight. But either way, great win for Matt Schmel. On to the main card. And what we got with the main card, what did we have? In the beginning of the main card, Ikram Ali Askarov gets a win over Andre Muniz, and as a result, gets a first-round knockout and a TKO finish just right in the first fight of the main card. Randy Brown gets a knockout from Nicholas Dalby. Just looked like the faster fighter out of the two. He steps back, knocks him out, and Nicholas Dalby falls in the same direction that Justin Gaethje fell during the Max Holloway fight. By the way, check out my video reacting to Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier finally fighting each other again for the third time, and for a retirement fight for Dustin Poirier. Michel Pereira loses to Abus Magomedov in a decision, and Abus Magomedov was doing a very good job of being able to prevent Michel Pereira from having this acrobatic, rangy type of fight, and as a result, he got the win, pressuring him all throughout this fight, not allowing him to have any room. Congrats on Abus Magomed for his decision win on that one. Giga versus David Onama. David Onama gets to win. I think the wrestling is what won this fight. 3 out of 3 takedowns. Obviously, the striking wasn't too far off in between him and David Onama, and he gets to win over Giga on that one. Giga did a very good job really throwing his strikes here, right? But by the end of it all, it was the ground control, it was the takedowns, and it was the aggression of David Onama that won the fight. And then Anthony Smith, we talked about with Zhang, another first-round knockout. Anthony Smith, this is a very sad situation for most fighters. This is what happens. Obviously, Robbie Lawler was able to come out and win his final fight, right? Floyd Mayweather came out and won his final fight, left and ran off into the sunset. Same thing with Joe Calzaghe. Same thing with Khabib. But tonight, Anthony Smith, he fell into what most people fell into at the end of their career, which is a loss, and a devastating loss. But Shout out to Zhang for getting the win. Now, Ian Machado Garry, once again, like I said, he didn't have to take this fight, but he did. And because he took this fight, hey, guess what? He got himself a very tough fight against an underdog, just like what I had mentioned with Eubank versus Connor Benn. That's exactly what happened there. It was a situation where the favorite underestimated the underdog, and as a result, we got ourselves a good fight. Towards the end of the fifth round, it was a little too late. Carlos Prates was doing good, but the whole entire fight, 4 out of 19 attempts that Ian Garry took, and 4 he got out of the 19. And I mean, it was an aggressive effort, but nonetheless, the ground game of Ian Garry is what won him this fight. But he nearly did get knocked out at the end. And if this was Nate Diaz, everybody out there would be saying, "Oh, he hurt you or this and that." You know what I'm talking about. Nate Diaz only needs to hurt the guy one time in order for people to praise him, and that's what Carlos Prates probably got out of the Fight Nerd fans tonight. But nonetheless, Ian Machado Garry showed that he was the most skilled guy out of the two, and that is what we have for UFC Fight Night: Machado Garry versus Prates, UFC Kansas City. All right. So that right there was just my breakdown for the whole entire fight card right now. So what else? What else do I need to do? Uh, okay, what else here? Post show. Okay, so I got the post show for that one. All right, now we're going to go on to the Eubank versus Benn post show right now in 20 seconds from now, and then we're going to call it a night right here. Okay, so bear with me here. Oh, wow, yeah, he knocked out Cameron Simon with that one. Ooh. All right, so on we go to Connor Benn versus Chris Eubank. What do I got to say about this fight? Well, just like what I told you earlier, right? I told you earlier that this fight was no different than Ian Garry and Carlos Prates. Now, why is it no different? I'm going to tell you why. Because it was a heavy favorite, highly skilled fighter, such as Ian Garry, such as Chris Eubank, taking on an underdog, an unproven underdog. That was the story of April 26, 2025, when it came to the fights that we had witnessed tonight. So, as a result of that, Chris Eubank did not even go to his post press fight conference. Ben did. You want to know why Chris Eubank was not able to make it? It was because of the fact that he was hospitalized. That's how badly he was beaten in this fight, if you can really imagine that. He got beaten to a pulp in this fight, and he still managed to win. Just like Ian Garry earlier, in the fifth round, all Prots need to do was knock him down one time for people to probably call fraud check on Ian Garry. But nonetheless, Ian Garry is a highly skilled fighter. Chris Eubank is a highly skilled fighter with limits towards what he can do in the world level. But what he did against Benn tonight in this entertainment packed fight, it showed that he has perseverance, but it also shows that he has some vulnerabilities. That's the reality of this fight. Now, what's going to happen with Benn? I will say Eddie Hearn said something very interesting in the press conference. Okay. And what he said in the press conference was something to the effect of Benn has an opportunity to become very great later on. It just so happens that he took on a seasoned vet right now who is highly experienced in Chris Eubank. Now, can you imagine if, let's say, in 4 years from now, if Eubank was to fight uh, Conor Benn? I think it would be a very different fight. At that point, Chris Eubank would be a little bit older, in his 40s, and maybe even in the rematch, Benn could easily give him problems, although I don't think so. I think it was one of those situations where it was a little too late to mount an offense, especially in the later rounds. And that's the same story that you got on the other side of the fence with the UFC with Ian Garry and Carlos Prates. But either way, it was a great night of fights. It was a great night of boxing. I really enjoyed it. Also, the undercards as well. Let us talk about the undercards that was in Conor Benn and Eubank's event here. Okay, let's go to Topology. Let's go to Topology and take a look at this right here. So Anthony Yard and Lyndon Arthur were the co-main event. Anthony Yard gets a decision on that one. This was obviously from a trilogy that they had going on. They had one apiece with each other, and then next thing you know, Anthony Yard came in here and settled the score and showed that he was the much more improved fighter between them two over the years. Aaron McKenna was a 19-0 undefeated pro going in here against the veteran of Liam Smith, the guy who knocked out the headliner of this whole entire card, by the way, and also came back and lost to him in a rematch with the series that they had going on. Well, this right here became the biggest win for Aaron McKenna's career, and a unanimous decision he went. Here's another upset of the night right here. Vidal Riley versus Siobhan Clark. Everybody thought that Siobhan Clark had Vidal Riley's number, simply because people thought that because he was KSI disciple, that he was a guy from this part of the YouTube boxing space, and just because he was a trainer of a YouTube boxer, that they thought this guy isn't worth anything. Well, they thought wrong, and as a result, Vidal Riley came in here and toppled Siobhan Clark to win the British Cruiserweight title. And you know what? I think that he's going to give a lot of people problems in the Cruiserweight division. I can see him give Jai Apataya problems, if not even beat him. And you heard it here first. So the first fight of the night, Chris Billam-Smith taking on Brendan Glanton. Once again, this was Chris Billam-Smith's fight to win. Brendan Glanton is a great cruiserweight. I think that he can give a lot of people problems later down the road. But Chris Billam-Smith was a hometown fighter. He was a defending champion. And as a result, he came out of here with a victory. So one last thoughts on Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. I don't think this is a rematch that needs to happen. Listen to what Senior had to say about this. I think that he is far more of the most reasonable voice in this whole entire fight. Now, look, this is an entertainment fight. It had a value with family lineage that comes with this. They had an issue with one fighter winning over the other. Obviously, Chris Eubank got the better of those two. By the end of the night, the father and son relationship with Chris Eubank seemed to have healed due to the magnitude of the event. And you could probably point out the fact that Chris Eubank Sr., in all of his pride and maybe even some could say arrogance, would not miss out on an opportunity with a big crowd like this. And so he was there, he showed up, and he played his role. Not only did he play his role, but he played his role down to where he did not overstep the main trainer of Chris Eubank, which I think was more important more than anything. But by the end of the day, here's one thing that I got to say to top off all the fight events for April 26, 2025. There are no good guys or bad guys. There are only winners and losers. And there is only your family that you have to face by the end of it all when the lights and the cameras all shut off and everybody goes home. So that is all that I have for April 26th, 2025 of all the fight days that we have. I hope that you guys enjoyed every minute of this event from the Chris Eubank all the way to the KSW, all the way to UFC Fight Night Kansas City. I will see you guys in the next one. And for everybody in the chat, please stay because we are going to continue for a bonus stream. Here we go. All right. So everybody that's tapped in, thank you because we are heading into a bonus stream right now. So that bonus stream could mean a whole wide range of things. I could stay for another 3 minutes or maybe another 30 minutes, 3 to 30 minutes. Who knows what I will do for this one? But for everybody that's tapped in right now, do not forget to like and subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also let your friends know everything. So let's read some comments here. Toxic Gameplay says, you know about Joe Calzaghe? Bro, of course. Um, your boy says, Assalamu alaikum. Shout out to you, my boy. Bro, I feel your Jersey accent comes out when you're mad. Okay, I was told about that a few times. I did notice that by a few other people. So there's Stephen Wonderboy Thompson right now talking about the Carlos Prates, Ian Machado, Garry fight card. So we have just now reached 3 hours into this live stream right now, and not a bad outing that we've got for this one right here. So let's see here. Yeah, the crowd booed Ian Garry on the way to the yeah, on the way to the cage. They booed him. That was quite interesting, to say the least. It was an interesting choice for people to go and boo Ian Garry like that. So, but he performed well nonetheless, man. Ian Garry came out here and performed like a champ, and you can't ever take that away from him whatsoever. Uh, what else? What else do we have going on here? Connor Benn is saying that he wants his revenge. Robles says hi. Shout out to you, my man. Let's see what else here. Yeah, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson talking about him flipping the script and becoming a bad guy here, man. Yeah, you could never imagine Stephen Wonderboy Thompson as a bad guy ever, can you? Right? He's just not the type of guy that would be a bad guy in any kind of capacity whatsoever. But yeah, on any regard, yeah, 18,000 people booing Ian Garry. That's crazy, man. So let's hear what Ian Garry has to say here.
100%. You know, I don't normally look like this, but I tell you what, that guy hits hard. And I
He
think
says, I normally don't look like this, but that guy hits hard.
thank you for the opportunity. He just said to me backstage, thank you for taking a fine short notice. You know, you didn't have to. You're above me in the ranking. Well, I respect the best in the world, and you're one of them. And I was
He says, I respect the best in the world, and you're one of them. Does eating blumpkin or pie promote food bacterial growth within the gut? I don't know that one, Furioso. Let me know on that one. Ian schooled Carlos C says, yeah, he definitely did see. He definitely did school him on this one right here. Ian looked like the consummate professional. He looked like the better fighter overall. And you know what? He had more arsenal to his game, and that's why he was able to do exactly what he did. So, shout out to Ian Garry for that one. Just got here. What are we talking about? Wing Wing Hero says. So we are just reacting to the post fight for Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates, and we were also talking about Connor Benn and Chris Eubank earlier. Blunkin Pies, good bacteria, says Osito Furosio. All right. Some post fight shit too. Yep. Just sort of recapping all the post fight stuff. While also recording videos at the same time. For those of you that don't know, I'm recording a video while doing a live stream at the same time. So I have something to drop later on for you guys. So yeah, man, just making some content on content on content, and let's hear what Ian Garry has said. He says the belt is coming home soon. So how is that, Ian Garry? If Shavkat has a win over you, right? So yeah, man, Ian Garry looking really confident this time. He says there's something about Vegas that has a special place in his heart where he wants to fight there. Says, yeah, Vegas is the fight capital of the world. Yeah, true on that. Oh, you know what? He said he wants to fight in the Allegiant Stadium. Yeah, why not, man? He says that if there's anyone that can do it, it's the Irishman that talks and backs it up. It's sort of a Conor McGregor-like behavior in that part. Hopefully, he doesn't end up like Conor McGregor in the worst way possible, right? Of course, you never want to see that out of Ian Garry. He's such a good guy and all of that. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, Ellen Joban right here is saying that there's some Conor McGregor like comparisons here that you can draw from with him. So yeah, that's an interesting point right there by Alan Joban, and he's saying that he's going to fight for a belt. Man, I just don't know how people are saying that Ian Garry is going to fight for a belt if Shavkat is the one that won in that fight, right? Wouldn't that put him ahead of him? But I think that Shavkat was supposed to fight Bilal, and for one reason or another, that didn't happen. So, they scrapped all of that altogether, and Shavkat actually just ended up fighting Ian Garry, and then he won that fight. On top of that, right? Ian Garry could have easily came in there and swooped that title shot off of him, but obviously that wasn't the case. So yeah. So he's saying, yeah, thank you for joining us and this and that. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. All right, so that's the end of the post-fight coverage in the ESPN side. Let us see if let's see if they have the press conference. Let's see if they had the press conference. Let's see if they have the press conference for the UFC. I know the UFC has a press conference right now. All right, let's see UFC press conference. UFC. All right, was Dana White. All right, here we go. So let's hear what Dana White has to say now.
The main event. Interesting fight, right? Ian looked like he had it in the bag, and then suddenly, last 2 rounds, Carlos came flying back. Curious your thoughts on the fight and why Prates wasn't able to get the finish in the 5th round.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this fight, you know, kid was on a 10-fight win streak, or 10-fight finish streak, I think, 11-fight win streak. He was 4-0 in the UFC. Looked good, you know, in the matchmaking room. We talking about this could be a fun fight, and you know, credit Ian, takes these fights on short notice. He'll fight anybody, and yeah, he looked good tonight.
Do you find that Ian's able to like get these guys to go into his pace, right, where he sort of slows the fight down, just lands from the outside? Do you think that's like one of his best attributes?
I don't know. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, he definitely gets in there and controls everything. The pace, what he wants to do, when he wants to do it. Even against the guy, you know, the question was tonight, would Prates go in there and put unbelievable pressure on him, stay in his face? Then we were wondering, you know, would Ian take him down, hold him down? You know, so those were all the questions we had too were answered. But this is one of those fights that, on paper, you know, the kid's 31 years old. He's got a great record. It's not tonight like Ian went out there and, you know, did some, you know, if he did some MMA shit that this kid isn't ready for yet or whatever. It was a stand-up fight, and he controlled the pace. He controlled everything. He did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. But the great thing was in the last round, Prates obviously was trying to finish the fight. So
Ian announced himself as the official backup for your welterweight title fight in Montreal. Is that official? Did he just announce that himself?
It's official. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cool. And then,
Okay, so Ian Garry is the official backup fight for the Bilal Muhammad and the JDM fight.
Anthony Smith obviously retired tonight. You guys rolled a brilliant package for him. Just give us your thoughts on his career and him as a fighter.
Who's that?
Anthony Smith.
Yeah. What about it?
He's retired. Give us some.
Yeah. That's a tough way to go out, but yeah, he's a great guy. Obviously, has an unbelievable story, and you know, I'm glad we ended up with him here. He's a good human being, and you know, obviously he has a career now with us, not fighting.
We are still waiting for a main event for International Fight Week. And I'm sure you were willing and ready to break that for us now. Who is main eventing?
Well, I just announced some fights yesterday, and that wasn't one of them.
Yeah, there's a couple you didn't announce that people were kind of hyped for.
Wow, they're pressing Dana on these fights.
At DDP. Turns out that doesn't look like it's true. There's now rumors it's going to be Ilia Topuria versus Islam. Is that
well, we all know that fight's happening. The Duplessis versus Hamza fight. It's happening. It's just not happening in International Fight Week. That fight's done. Just not happening now.
Wow. Okay, so that fight is done. What comes up?
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
The other big one is obviously
he's holding his cards on that one.
This week was a funny one.
I don't understand what that means. I don't understand Hindi. Sorry.
Not taking it. Where do we stand with that fight?
Everything you hear is bullshit until we say it.
There you go. That's what it is. Everything is BS until you hear it, he said.
I've said it many times that's the fight that we want to make this year.
Yeah. At the beginning of the year, you said you were super confident. It's definitely going to happen. Are you still super confident?
Still super confident.
Cool. In your career, do you remember another fight that people are kind of bitching at you about as much as
yeah, there's been plenty, but I've said since day one, this will be the biggest heavyweight fight in the company of in the history of the company and in the history of the sport. This will be a big one.
I'm looking forward to it.
Big couple of weeks for the TKO group last week in Vegas, WrestleMania, biggest WrestleMania of all time. Then you took over Kansas City this week. Can you just talk about how that process has been and what a big weekend it was, and it's going to continue to be here in Kansas City?
Yeah, it's been good, and you know what's crazy about WrestleMania in Vegas? Anybody who lives in Vegas, you felt it. You felt it. We went to I think it was the same night. It was the same night. It was Friday night or Saturday night. And
wow.
The Bellagio, when I tell you that this place was packed, I mean, it was like Super Bowl. Every table
You couldn't get in near a table and down the walkways.
Wow,
all
Dana
packed.
White
It
is
was-
saying you couldn't get
felt
near any
WrestleMania
tables
Vegas last week.
in Las Vegas WrestleMania.
You got on the first night there at WrestleMania.
Yeah, everybody was cool. Yeah,
But everybody was
my,
booing Dana White
It
too.
was definitely my first WrestleMania. The only other wrestling WWE event I had been to before that was Ronda's first match.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did attend Ronda's first
Last one
match.
for me. Can you speak about one of the bigger performances of the weekend? Dana White's playmate. I got this qualified on Thursday. What does he need to do next time out so we can see a good performance?
Shout out to David. Today's win, my team, Barca. Okay. Shout out to David and your team's win right there.
Yeah. Thank God that kid was all right, but yeah. So I wrote a bull back in 2015, which is what got me into this. It's one of the dumbest things that I've ever done. But you know, when they strap your hand in, you go like this to let them know that you're ready to go, and they open the gate. And I remember as we were getting in, and they're strapping my hand to the bull. And
Penta or Rey Mysterio? I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio on that one, my man. Rey Mysterio. Go with the legend.
But the bull starts smashing your legs against the bars, so you can't pull your hand up fast enough. And I noticed at the PBR that they're all padded. All the bars are padded for that reason. When we did it, the bars weren't padded. But yeah, I mean, forget riding the bull, just getting on the bull inside the inside that enclosure. I mean, that guy got knocked out. He was knocked unconscious. So that is a rough, nasty sport. Love it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Dana, back here. In a recent interview, you talked about the new meta rankings that'll come out later this year.
They're going to have a meta rankings
have a media rankings
that they're talking about.
Like the new AI rankings.
I said AI and human.
So my question is, for fights, production, matchmaking moving forward, will you guys lean on one ranking more than the other? Like for graphics, will the AI rankings be the ones that you guys focus on, or?
Listen, I'm not delusional and think that the AI.
What do you think about Dominic Mysterio? I think Dominic Mysterio makes a good Intercontinental Champion. I think it's a long time coming. I also think it's great that he mixes up his style with his dad, along with Eddie Guerrero as well, who at one point was accused of being his dad. So really interesting how he ties all of that together.
2 sets of rankings will have AI and human. So I don't know. We gotta see how it goes.
Another question regarding the fights tonight. I was just curious to get your thought on Michel Pereira's performance. Obviously.
All right, so Dana is being asked about Michel Pereira's performance
so
tonight.
You know how as soon as the round starts, they post some of the people's posts. There was a guy that said, that Pereira looked like he was stuck in the mud, and that is what he did look like tonight. He looked like he couldn't get off. He looked slow. He looked lethargic. He definitely wasn't himself. It wasn't, the Pereira we're used to seeing fight. But
shout out to Masters for your interesting comment.
No. Yeah, you got to ask him what happened tonight. But listen, you can't take the people were booing. I think that Kansas City got spoiled tonight. This card was so good, man.
Kansas City definitely got spoiled tonight. There were a lot of finishes up until at the end. Yeah, it wasn't a bad fight.
Fights in my day, that wasn't one of them. I thought, Abus looked great.
Ukraine is part of Russia.
My last question is, I know you
Correct, Master. The dude named Master, not calling anyone a master. Europe is part of Turkey. Correct. That is also correct, Master.
Dana, Malcolm Wellmaker would like to get on the Atlanta card. He said he's 2 hours away from that card. You think he can get on there?
Who did? Who said that?
Malcolm.
Oh, yeah. What did he say? He wants to fight on that card?
Yes.
You know me, man. When guys want to fight constantly, I love that. Yeah.
Dana says he loves it when guys want to fight constantly. All right.
Released from a Russian prison. Could you speak on what happened there? What your role in that?
So when we had the fight in Australia in Sydney, I got a call from a friend of mine and asked if he could come by my hotel room and talk to me, and I said, of course.
Wow, what is this? They trying to get somebody
told me the story,
out of prison.
and then asked if I would go to the president because I guess they had been working for like a year with the old administration trying to get it released and couldn't get it done. So they asked if I would talk to Trump. So I said, of course. So I called him, and he said, yeah, let me see what I can do.
Wow.
And literally in 3 weeks, he had her out. And it's crazy you asked me that question now because nobody's even asked me about that. But she FaceTimed me like 2 days ago. What an incredible, sweet, positive human being she is. And yeah.
Wow. So Trump got somebody
Trump,
released from the prison in.
Give them both credit for getting her out.
All right. Thank you for doing that as well.
So thank you. I didn't do anything but make a call. Thank you.
Wow, very humble of Dana to say, I didn't really do anything other than make a call.
Confirm that Garry is the backup for Montreal.
That
Ian is.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
curious,
Ian
how
is
much
the
of this
backup
is
for
willingness
Montreal.
Short notice fights. He took short notice against against Shotcut. Then he takes short notice here against.
Because
Carlos.
Zelensky, the
How much does that
comedian
play into
dictator,
your
made a
decision
joke.
to
Then years later, he became the Joker with Trump.
Listen,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
been
Shout out
lots
to
of guys
Master
in the
on
world
that
have
one.
taken fights at short notice, but when you're that person, it doesn't hurt.
And I know that you were talking about Michel Pereira. I was just curious if you could actually rate his pre-fight dance and what you thought of it.
They're asking Dana if he can rate his pre-fight dance.
I didn't see him dancing. On his walkout?
Yeah, he did it on.
I missed that.
Oh, okay, well, maybe you should go take a look at it. Let us know.
I'm not a big dance fan, so I'm sure my opinion doesn't matter.
Appreciate it.
And this is the fight business.
Actually, just one more
He
thing.
says,
At
my
WrestleMania,
opinion on dancing doesn't matter. That's
being
interesting.
there and seeing the setup, change your mind at all on UFC in a stadium show anytime soon?
No. Okay. No. Nothing will change my mind about a stadium show. I mean, you guys were here tonight. Kansas City is an awesome city. The people here are great. I really like this town. And the energy in that place was awesome all night. That's the energy you get in a, not that there wasn't listen, when you get, what they have, 63,000 people there, I mean, you're going to get some energy like they did, but I am not a fan of stadiums. I like arenas.
And last one, I believe Malcolm said earlier that if he got the bonus, he would quit his job. So you just got him out of his job.
So Malcolm said that he would quit his job if he got a bonus, and he got a bonus tonight.
Yeah, good for him.
Malcolm Wellmaker.
Sorry to his employers, but good for him.
Dana said sorry to his employers, but good for him.
Recently, a special representative of President Putin for investment and economic cooperations with foreign country said that they are in talks with the UFC of bringing back events to Russia. Can you confirm?
Oh, wow. They're talking about bringing back events to Russia.
President Putin that's talking about bringing UFC back to Russia. Can you confirm that there's talks about that?
Yeah, listen, we never stopped. Our fighters still fought, and those things all happened during all that shit that was going on. And yes, I mean, we're a global business. Yeah, we're a global business. Bad shit happens all the time, all around the world. And yes.
Yeah, Dana says that they're a global business and bad stuff happens all around the world.
Thank you, sir. Done with me? Thanks,
All right,
Kansas City. Have a great night.
So that's it for Dana White. Now let's wait and see if there's anybody else that will come on. Probably Ian Garry. We're probably going to wait for Ian Garry to come on. And then after Ian Garry comes on, we're going to call it a night right there. So in the meantime, let's play some videos while we wait for Ian Garry. Right here. What did I talk about right here with
versus JDM for the undisputed 170 championship, and then also Valentina Shevchenko taking on Manon Fiorot, who, by the way, is in a very unbelievable streak. I mean, let's take a look at the streak that she is currently on right now, right? Erin Blanchfield, unanimous decision. Unanimous decision. Caitlin Cervera, unanimous decision. Jennifer Maya, unanimous decision. So what do you think is going to happen when she takes on Valentina Shevchenko for the undisputed 125 championship? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's going to go to the same thing. It's going to be a decision. Why? Take a look at the last fights that Valentina has been on. I know that she's been a killer before. She's finished a lot of people, but just take a look at the reality of the situation. Obviously, she finished Alexa Grasso, but the second time around and then the third time around, it was a draw. It was a decision, and I don't think that the co-main event is going to end any different. This is going to be a 5-round decision. By the way, speaking of decision, you know what else is going to be a decision? It's going to be Belal Muhammad. Look, I think that JDM is extremely tough, okay? Very durable. And I know that's a common thing that a lot of people love to say about fighters, right? Well, this guy is so durable and this and that. But it's really true for Jack Della Maddalena. However, is he going to be durable enough to prevent Belal Muhammad from taking him down and grinding him all 5 rounds? Look, I think he's going to survive. I think his durability is going to come into play. With that same durability, I think that Belal Muhammad's reputation of just lacking in the finishing department, I mean, you know what? It depends. It all depends on the styles that he's taken on, right? Now, for example, let's take, what's his name, for example? How about Sean Brady? Obviously, there's 2 grapplers there, right? So he had to finish him off, and he was able to finish him off because there were opportunities to sort of finish him up with strikes. In this situation, I think Belal Muhammad is going to keep it safe. He's going to take him down, and the same thing that's going to happen in the Valentina Shevchenko fight. She's going to be taken down over and over again, and I think that's just what they're going to have to do in order to win this. I think this is going to be one of those main events and co-main events that's going to end in a decision, a unanimous decision, which, by the way, sort of falls in line with the legacy of George St. Pierre and his 170-pound title run, who, by the way, they're going to be fighting in their own home country of Canada, which is where George St. Pierre is from. And if you remember, same thing in the Hominick and the Jose Aldo co-main event with the Jake Shields fight. It was all unanimous decision fights. Both of these fights are not going to be any different. It's going to be
boys, how are we?
decision fights.
Firstly, before we get going,
career trajectory that they are at right now.
I want to say thank you
and
to everyone that
any other
changed their schedule.
That it would be just
that was a part of my camp. I took this fight.
All right, so now here we are, Ian Garry.
And a lot of people sacrificed a lot of things. To everybody that helped me, I want to say thank you. You know who you are. There was far too many to name. You guys left your families. You guys changed your schedules. And that means the world to me to show me that I have a team and people around me that are willing to change everything at the drop of a dime and help me get this win. So thank you so much. And yeah, it's an honor to get this win for all of you.
Congrats on the win. Can you walk us through your performance? How do you feel about it?
Dude, I felt great. I was faster. I was more clinical. My fight IQ was on point. I did everything I thought I was going to do except finish him. But he hits like a truck. He kept coming forward, and you could see the experience he's had in Muay Thai show off. But at the end of the day,
yeah, the experience in Muay Thai was in there for sure.
Full camp, 25 days notice, back-to-back short notice fight against 2 of the best in this division, 2 of the most dangerous in this division. And I went out there and showed the world that I can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime, and I can look fucking great doing it.
Said he hits like a truck. Were you surprised by his power?
No, we knew how strong he hit. He puts everything into his shots, and yeah,
he definitely does put everything into his shots.
Again, I mixed up my wrestling well to make him respect it and reset him. But I won the majority of the on the feet. Like, I beat him up for 4 rounds on the feet. I was smart. I kept him moving. I never let him get settled. And yeah, I did what I needed to get the job done. I'm very proud of what I did. And fuck, I was fast.
Yeah, he looked very fast in that fight for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at that. I have no idea. I think he caught me with something. I jumped on a leg and he defended well and we ended up in a scramble, but I have no idea. That's just...
Did you lose your bearings at that point?
No. I knew exactly where I was. I knew I was completely present. There was one thing going through my head. Do not stop. Keep moving. Keep going, because it's hard to hit someone who keeps moving.
You know what? When Ian Garry was going through that, that's exactly what I thought he was saying to himself. And that's exactly what I thought he had to do, was have that same mindset going into getting rocked like that.
And you have to readjust, just like on the feet. I say this to everyone when I tell them, when I teach at home, when I teach around the world to my friends, the second you stop, it only gets worse.
And it's hard in that moment. It's hard in that moment to push you when you've got a man on top of you who hits like a truck coming down on you. You just got to keep going and know that everything will figure itself out. But I dominated that man for four or five rounds.
In 1947, my family started the
Yeah, he's definitely right about that. He absolutely dominated that whole entire fight, but still got a good fight out of it.
very confident this week heading into this fight. You had mentioned before the fight, actually, that you already had a trip booked to Montreal. Dana was just in here confirmed that you are officially.
Yeah, I don't think he's a wannabe Conor. I think he's better than Conor.
That you said if you go out and get the win here, you'll be the backup.
100%. I told him if
And
I'm doing a back-to-back.
I don't think Carlos got fraud checked.
And I told you, I'm a glass half full. I didn't need that part, but I told him I want that. I want the reassurance that when I get this, I get what I deserve. I'm the official backup, and I'm next. Whoever wins that fight, if that fight goes ahead, that's my next opponent. You don't take back-to-back short notice fights, 21 days and 25 days notice against the most dangerous guys in the division, and knock out.
You know what, man? Ian Garry has a point there, taking all of these short notice fights, top-level names. I think that he deserves it. And dangerous guys, not even just top-level names. Obviously, Prates is not a top ranked fighter, but he is a dangerous fighter, and he took the fight nonetheless for entertainment value for us here in Kansas City.
Rewarded for it. I am one of the best welterweights this world's ever seen. I'm 27 years of age, 9-1 in the UFC. This is my 10th fight. I'm on a roll, and I'm just going to get better and better and better. And if one of those guys slip up in 2 weeks, you best believe I'm going to be ready for everything. And that belt is coming back home to Ireland.
You talked a bit with Carlos after the fight. Can you just share what you guys were talking about?
I just told him that he is a monster. I said, Eli, você é um monstro, mano. Você tem tudo. Você quer meu ajuda. Eu quero ver.
Here's Ian Garry busting out some Portuguese now.
I want to see all the Brazilians climb up the rankings. For me, I know he's in a rival gym. But when you share that octagon with me, you get my respect. And if that guy ever needs my help, I will be there to help him because I want to see all of the Brazilians rise up.
How about that? Here's Ian Garry putting it on for the Brazilians right here. He said that he would train him and help him later in the future because he wants to see all the Brazilians do good.
Told everyone this week, I am the best Brazilian welterweight on the planet. I am the best Brazilian. I am more Brazilian.
He said he's the best Brazilian fighter, the best Brazilian 170 fighter. That's crazy. And he's not really even Brazilian, but he's claiming Brazil. So I guess you can claim whoever you want to be, right?
Whether he like.
Of course, if it makes sense. Obviously, Ian Garry has some kind of claim to Brazil. He's been there. His wife is Brazilian. His kids are Brazilian. But other than that, yeah, I guess you can claim what you can claim as long as there's some stake to it.
Said or not, his country wanted me to win. I carry that Machado name with a lot of pride. And for me,
here we go again with the Machado name, as we've mentioned earlier, with him taking that last name. But yeah, that's neither here or there.
Fight today meant so much more to my family in shooter box, right? But I am always there to help Brazilians reach the top, and I want to see them all succeed because I know how hard they have to fight to get to where they are. So my job as a friend, as a family to all the Brazilians that I see is to help them get there. And I have nothing but respect for people who step into the octagon with me.
Another contender in this division was in here earlier, Buckley. There's some back and forth.
That man is an absolute pussy. I don't care for anything he
has. Here we go. A little drama with him and Buckley. Let's hear this.
It's to say, leave him to be him and let's move on.
You are the backup. Can you just see if you don't end up getting the spot and that fight does go through? How do you see that one playing out?
I do think Bilal has the advantage. I think Jack hits hard. Jack is clean. It's a boxing.
All right, so he's got Bilal winning this one.
But I just feel like we've seen Jack get outclassed by people who aren't as good as what Bilal does in the same style. And Bilal is the very best at that pressure cooker style. He doesn't hit the hardest, but he does not stop coming forward, and he mixes in his wrestling, and he makes it awkward. And I really do think that that's a stylistically terrible matchup for Jack. And I think we see Bilal get to finish in the 4th or 5th round.
Last one.
Wow, so he's saying that he sees Bilal Muhammad get the finish in the 4th or 5th round. Wow. Now that's interesting for Ian Garry to say that, right? It could very well look like the Sean Brady fight as well. right? Let's keep that in mind. It could very well look like that as well.
When I talked to you earlier this week, I mentioned a new possible nickname for you, the Card Savior. Have you put any more thought into that? I told you, the saving grace of the welterweight division. A tall, beautiful white light at the end of the tunnel. If you need a savior, you call Liam Shadow Garry. And Hunter and Dana, they know that. They've got a company man who will show up and save a card. Do you have a preference out of Jack or Bilal who you'd fight for the title? Bilal, nothing to do with style, but just to do with what he's done in the division.
Wow, so he said that he would rather take on Bilal just because of what he did with the division. So makes sense. He wants somebody that has a real big following in terms of accomplishments. Not, I mean, Bilal has a decent following, but as far as his accomplishments goes, I think that's ultimately what Ian Garry is looking for.
He is the champion. He has beaten former champions. He's on a whatever, however many fight win streak. I feel like Jack has not done the same workload, and I don't want any question marks on my career.
Human Made says, am I crazy for thinking Patty submits Gaethje pretty easily if he fights and hits the mat? No, not at all. Patty is 100% really one of the best grapplers in the 155 division, and he's sort of proven that now.
I've told you this. So I want to beat the best guys in the world, and Jackie is up there on that level. But I just think Bilal has done more to warrant that status. Do you find it, you're a bit of an anomaly in that you're better against southpaws than you are orthodox fighters, I feel like. Dude, isn't that mental? Do you know how many southpaws I've fight? I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, Ian Garry seems a whole lot better when he's fighting southpaws than he is orthodox people, right? And that's a good question right there.
Dude, it ain't easy, especially two of the most awkward guys in this division are Jeff Neal and Carlos Prates, because they're both fast, they're both aggressive, and they're both big, and they hit like trucks. And I ate everything both of them had, and I beat them up. I've showed people the speed and the intelligence that I have. My footwork is unrivaled. My fight IQ is amazing, and I am fast as fuck. You could put me in there with a featherweight, and I'll be faster than them. That's the way I operate, and I'm very proud of how I work. And to do it on short notice, and to pull in people from all around the world to...
Hey, shout out to you, Human Made. He says, Usman versus Buckley, your prediction. I'm going to have a video coming out for that one. Stay tuned for that one, okay? Let your friends know. Let everybody know that I have a video coming out for that one. I'm going to release sometime tomorrow, of which I got it all recorded and ready to shoot for tomorrow and to be released tomorrow. I'm going to have all of that. Also, reaction to Poirier and Holloway, and that's going to be all in the same video. Poirier versus Holloway, Usman and Buckley, and yeah. And I'm also going to do a separate video reacting to Benn versus Eubank. So, yeah, here we go.
Do it and make this happen. Cut weight on 25 days' notice.
Noted. Thank you. And Tim 40 says, Prates is brain dead. Yeah. I mean, doesn't really live the healthiest lifestyle for a fighter also, right? So
show up for a 5-round fight against a guy who had already had a fight camp. That just shows how talented I am and how blessed I am. And I am born to fight. To anyone out there who wants to fight more, trust in yourselves and go with everything you have, because this is the most important thing you can have.
Ian Garry says your brain is the most important thing you have, pointing at his head.
You could get a title shot if something happens, something in. So do you have to sort of pull your own self back and not take short notice fights right now until you know how the division's playing out? Because you could slide into a title fight at some point. Well, considering that Jack just got a title fight after a year off, you're fucking right. I could just sit out for a year. Maybe I'll get a title shot. Do you know what I mean? I busted up Shavkat's knee. That guy can't fight for a year. Isn't that it?
How is this? Tim 40 says, had the fight won, needed max 5 more hammer fists to finish Garry. Garry was as dead in the water as one gets. Yeah, the 5th round, right? Very Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards-like. And Prates stands up and watches Garry walk away.
A coincidence. He fights me and he can't fight for a year. That's a bit wild. I do feel slightly disrespected about that. I know I lost. I know I didn't get my hand raised, but not even a call. That's why I made sure that if I take this fight, I'm saving your ass again. You give me what I deserve, and that's to be next in line. If anyone has a problem with that, I ain't a stranger to say no. You know that. I'm not going to say no to a fight. So There's going to be a lot of people chomping at my name and talking about my name right now. I've told you this. There is not a bigger fight you can make in this division. Me against the champion, I have the most media talking about me. I bring the most attention to a card. You talk about the guys who are at the top of this division, there ain't many bigger than me. I show up, I save cards, I put on fights, and I do everything I possibly can to go out there and get the win.
He is right, though. You can't deny him of what he's saying right now, regardless of how you feel about Ian Garry or how weird you may think his lifestyle is.
If for some reason one of these guys slip up, I'm going to take that belt and get it wrapped around my waist.
Just curious, how did Carlos stack up against the other guys that you faced in this division?
He's very aggressive, and he's very good at what he does, and you have to respect that. And you have to keep him moving. You cannot let him stop and get confident, because if he does, he'll light you up and he'll hit you hard. So, again, he wasn't the hardest to prepare for, but you still have to give the man all the respect in the world, and I have nothing but respect for him.
And to go back to you being the backup, Sean Brady had some comments about him being the #1 contender, that he believes that he essentially thinks it doesn't make sense that you would get the backup. Just curious what your thoughts are if you heard the comments that he made this week.
I don't go on my phone on fight week. I stay off it, but I know that he was complaining that I didn't get it.
Human Mate says, people forget that Shavkat versus Garry was extremely close, could have went either way. For real. I really thought that too. I was like, man, what if Ian Garry walks out with a win on this one? And that was an undefeated versus undefeated fight also going into it.
He was moaning about me not getting it. So it's funny to see him in this position now where he's talking about that he's not getting it. Here's the truth. I show up on short notice. I helped the UFC save cards. I did it against Shavkat. I'm doing it now against Carlos. When you take big risks, you get big rewards. I'm next to mine, you can take a fucking backseat away.
The comment that he made specifically was that your claim to fame is that you lost to Shavkat. Just let you know what he said.
You don't know by champion.
And out of curiosity, I know obviously you don't feel like it was a loss in the Shavkat fight, but how important is it for you to get that natural day? Is that something that's in the back of your mind, though?
You guys know I like plans, right? You guys know I have visions in my mind. But let me tell you what's next. I'm going to fight the winner. I believe Bilal. And that's with me against Jack. I just believe Simon Bilal has the one next to get this fight done. Fighting this. So I'm going to fight Bilal next. I'm going to beat Bilal. Bilal has said many times I'm the toughest opponent in the division for him. And Bilal doesn't have the belt.
Well, Bilal did say that he is the toughest one.
I have nothing but love and respect for him, so I would be honored to shake off him. I would love to go prove against him in my first title defense. I'm the #1. I beat him. I take that status. I win my first title defense. And then Shavkat gets the rematch. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to dismantle him and prove that he never won that fight. And that's my next fight to be fighting. That's how I see it going. I don't want any other way.
Just one more from me. I know you said you didn't want to discuss what Joaquin said earlier, but there was a little incident with you guys at the weigh-in. So I'm just curious what happened.
There's no incident with me at the weigh-in. Thank you.
Going to the Sean Brady comment, I'm just curious.
Okay, they were talking about an incident that happened at the weigh-ins. What is that about?
He comes to you and says, would you like to fight Sean Brady? You don't seem like the kind of person that wants to say and waits for a title shot.
So they put me in a predicament where when I get a call, my answer is always yes. I'm in a predicament where if I say yes, will do I hold off? The truth is, there's a guy in here. He's my agent. He'll tell me and he'll give me the right things what he thinks I should do, and I will lean on him because that's his area of expertise. He probably knows me. If he calls me and says it's a fight, my answer is probably yes. I'm confident they know that too. But I am next in line. And all you do is take a back seat, show me respect for yourself.
In regards to tonight's fight, all week, I know you were going to have a little bit of fun, poking fun at Carlos, talking about quitting past fights. Was not much you were clearly in control of the first half of the fight. Did it also surprise you with how hard he came on those in that final round?
No, in the final round, you know what? You know when you see it like a wounded dog, and you know that fucking wounded dog's going to be more venomous and vicious to defend itself? I felt that type of energy, and I knew that he was going to come out. And I knew he was potentially 4 rounds down, potentially 3-1. I would have had 3-1 on the scorecard, maybe I agreed. So, but in your mind, you can just I'm down. So I knew he was coming out with energy of animosity and venomous like his power. But I dominated that fight. It was everything the way I seen it. I didn't see him making it to the 5th, and that just shows that guy maybe once was a quitter, wasn't anymore, and he's good. So good job there.
Last one, so we kind of want to let you know, just kind of talked about this the other day at weigh-ins, but what does it need to put on this kind of performance and get to be fun for your family, especially having a little man running around here? What does that need to do?
I tell everyone that there's nothing more I love than the fight. I would stop all this tomorrow if my family needed me to. And I would work at Starbucks if I had to. I would do anything to make my family happy, to make my little boy and my wife proud. There was nothing more that matters to me in my heart and soul than looking after people I love. And that means my team and my family, boxing everywhere around me. There was nothing more I want to do than make them proud. But my wife loves to watch me fight. My little boy loves to watch me fight. And they have such a big smile on their face when they see that I go out there and put on a show. So I will never stop. But it means the absolute world to have them by my side.
Congrats.
I appreciate you. Thanks so much. I will see you all in 2 weeks' time.
All right, and just like that, Ian Garry says that he will see everybody in 2 weeks' time. And with that, that concludes the live stream that we have for this one. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you in the next live stream, in the next video, and in the next content to come, inshallah.